right at the moment. The ball is teed up, and we're set to kick off. And down deep, Larry Brinson and Butch Johnson are the deep men. San Francisco kicks off. There's a high end-over-end kick. Johnson out to the 15, up to the 20-yard line, across the way. Russell down at about the 22-yard line. Down he goes. The tackle was made by Paul Hopper. So it'll be first down. First down for the Dallas Cowboys at their 22-yard line.
Butch Johnson, an outstanding returner of punts and also of kickoffs. With great speed, great acceleration. He's returning to his home state, played at California Riverside. Roger Staubach now has his team on the field. Let's see how the Cowboys decide to go as Dorsett starts.
Bob Newhouse and Tony Dorsett are in the I formation. His quarterback, Roger Staubach, brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Wide out to the right-hand side is Golden Richards. Drew Pearson is split out to the left. Man in motion to the right-hand side is the tight end, Dupree, and here's the snap, and straight up the middle goes Newhouse, and he's racked up just as he hits the line of scrimmage. He may have picked up a yard. He may have drilled it out to the 23-yard line, but no more than that, as the tackle is made there by Willie Harper. Willie Harper makes the stop, the right side linebacker.
Oh, and did he pop that running back as he hit the line of scrimmage. He came in from his linebacker spot, read it all the way, came in like a rocket.
Gain of a yard. It'll be second down and 9 for the Cowboys from their own 23-yard line, and the ball is at the hash mark in from the near sidelines. Again, the receivers are split, shifting in the backfield, back into the I formation. Again, the man in motion to the right, Dupree. The snap, and right up the middle goes the little man, Tony Dorsett, and he's out to the 30-yard line and dumped at the 30 by Cleveland Elam. Now, talk about an exciting football player. When you talk about Tony Dorsett, you may be talking about the most exciting football player of them all in the National League. A Heisman Trophy winner of last year. A tremendous football player, averaging better than 5 yards a carry this year, with 865 yards and 11 touchdowns. And mind you, he did not start a ball game for the Cowboys until November the 20th. It will be third down and 2. The Cowboys at their own 30. A tight formation with both tight ends in there. The snap, the handoff. Dorsett trying to get running room. He's stuffed at the 31-yard line by middle linebacker Ed Bradley. He slanted off the right tackle. Hit down almost immediately. Very close to the first down, but not enough.
Bruce Elia injured tonight. Bradley coming in and doing a superb play, stopping the wide sweep by the Dallas Cowboys. So the Cowboys are going to be forced to punt, and the punting team is on now, and White is going to do the kicking for the Dallas Cowboys, a 39.4 average.
Stan Black for the 49ers is the lone safety. He's back at the 32-yard line. Danny White standing in front formation at the Cowboy 16. Waiting for the snap. They needed 2 yards. They got only 1. White steps forward, end-over-end kick. Up comes the receiver, grabs the football, slid on his knees as he held on to it at the 44-yard line. Returning that kick was Stan Black.
Stan Black took a very, very big risk as he came up on that ball. It was a little short, and he was kind of like an outfielder coming in for a Texas League fly ball going into the outfield. He lost his grasp of the ball and looked for a moment like there would be a fumble.
In the backfield is Wilbur Jackson and Delvin Williams, and they are two great backs in the I formation behind quarterback Jim Plunkett. First down for the San Francisco 49ers at their 45-yard line. Both receivers are split wide. The handoff to the second back, and straight ahead with the ball goes Williams over the 45 up to about the 47-yard line. He is piled up as he hits the 47, and they begin to unpile. Charlie Waters is the man who comes up from the strong safety. The Clemson veteran of 8 years in the National Football League makes the tackle.
And he's just about the best safety in the league as well. Very aggressive. The man who plays alongside of him, Cliff Harris, is also tops in that category.
Kenny Harrison is in at the wide receiver. He is flanked out wide to the right-hand side. Gene Washington is split out to the left. The setbacks were inner eye. Now they shift strong to the left. In a pro set, and the handoff goes to Williams again. Around the right side, over the tackle, out to the 48. Knocked down at the 49-yard line. And I don't believe he reached the 50, but it's very close to the midfield stripe.
The big middle linebacker, Bob Brunick, pursuing from behind. However, Williams, with the good quickness, one of the reasons he is one of the NFL's outstanding runners, gets by Brunick. Brunick might have had him for a loss of about 5 yards on the backfield, just couldn't catch him.
It'll be third down, about 4.5 yards to go, and the nickel defense is in there as Bob Brunick comes out at the middle linebacker slot. And the Cowboys go to the 5-man pass umbrella. They're expecting it. They're looking for it. The pro set in the backfield. Plunkett shifting his back, scrawling signals, giving it off instead to Williams around the right side over the tackle. He's down to the 47-yard line and hits and falls forward close to the 46. Very close on that third down play to a first down before Harvey Martin, the big defensive right end, makes the tackle.
And is he something? He came in pursuit all the way across the field from his defensive end spot got a bead on the runner, caught up to him, and tackled him. He is the Dallas leader in sacks, by the way, and the Dallas team leads the league in sacks of the quarterback.
Tom Whittam has come in to kick for the 49ers. And Butch Johnson is the lone safety back at the 10-yard line for the Dallas Cowboys, and they will put the rush on now. Watch them try and rush this fellow because he takes a little bit too much time. There's a rush attempted. Oh, no, it's a handoff coming around from the wingback with the football, running it beautifully now to the 45, to the 40, and out of bounds at the 40-yard line, running that football. Well, it's Jim Plunkett and company and doing a beautiful job running it. Was number 30, Dave Williams. Williams was there to hold the football. Instead, he comes around, takes the football, and scampers for the first down. No chance to block that one.
None whatsoever. Ken Meyer caught the Dallas Cowboys flat-footed. Dallas was back in coverage of the punt. The reverse gets a first down for the 49ers.
First down. San Francisco at the Dallas 40-yard line. High formation. Plunkett, Williams, and Jackson. The snap and the handoff. No, back goes Plunkett. He'll throw. He bluffs beautifully. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Almost stolen away. It was intended there for Kenny Harrison, who did the little down and out, or down and in over the middle, 15 yards in. And Cliff Harris went high in the air and almost stole it away.
Excellent coverage by not only Cliff Harris, but Henderson, the linebacker. Henderson runs 109.8. That's a fast linebacker, probably the fastest in the National Football League. So the 49ers now have a second down coming up, and it will be 10 yards to go for Jim Plunkett as he's in the huddle calling the signals.
Oddly enough, two quarterbacks tonight, the one from Dallas and the one from San Francisco, are former Heisman winners. And the great running back for the Dallas Cowboys, Tony Dorsett, also a Heisman man. Shifting around in the backfield with the pro set strong to the right-hand side. And here's Plunkett handing off to Williams. Williams off the tackle inside the 40. He's down to the 36-yard line. Crossing over to hit him was left side linebacker Tom Henderson.
Henderson should have got him before that. Henderson did not penetrate into the backfield. Dallas plays what you call a reading defense, and Henderson was reading about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Had he penetrated, he might have hit Williams for a loss on the play. The flex defense that Dallas uses is designed to stop the run. It's designed to stop the tackles, in particular, from being trapped at the line of scrimmage.
Delvin Williams? No, that's Wilbur Jackson. And Kenny Harrison now in the eye. Harrison shifts out wide as a receiver. Williams shifts back into the pro set. Again, back goes Plunkett, sets up, works to the sidelines. It's almost picked off. It was intended on the sidelines over there for Kenny Harrison. And the man who almost picked it off was Charlie Waters. He tried to make the catch off the top of his shoes.
Charlie Waters, an exceptional football player from his safety position, along with Cliff Harris. We'll be talking about them many, many times tonight. However, that incomplete forward pass means that the San Francisco 49ers are going to have to punt.
Butch Johnson is back, and here's the foot put into it by Tom Whittam. Johnson holds up a hand as the ball goes out of the back of the end zone. So the score. The Dallas Cowboys nothing, the San Francisco 49ers nothing. There's the timeout on the field. Now this for GM Corporation.
From Candlestick Park in cool and comfortable San Francisco, California, Pat Sheridan and Al Wester on Mutual with a big NFL matchup between the Cowboys and the 49ers. First down 10 for Dallas.
Wide to the right-hand side, Golden Richards. Splitting out to the left-hand side over there. Here's Drew Pearson. Back to throw, and a pass to the sidelines. Completed from Roger Staubach. As he hits Drew Pearson, and Pearson goes out of bounds across the way. Bruce Taylor ran him out over there. Nice catch. The catch was made at about the 27-yard line, so it'll be second down and 3 coming up.
Well, Bruce Taylor just respected the long pass ability of Drew Pearson. Pearson made a move down and then came back along the sidelines, caught the pass, and Bruce Taylor just gave him too many yards.
One receiver wide, number 88 dropping out there, Drew Pearson, the number 1 receiver in the AFC. I formation in the backfield. Second down 3. Dallas there, 27. The pitch back to Dorsett. Wide to the right. Cuts in over the tackle. Gets up to the 29. Wrecked up at the 29-yard line as the big defensive left end of the 49ers, Tommy Hart, is there to knock him down.
They saw that play coming, the wide play with Dorsett. They immediately veered to the left side of the line, and Dorsett was met at the line of scrimmage by Harper, the big defensive end. They were there filling the hole. No place for Tony Dorsett to run. Cleveland Elam is down on the field right now. He is the leader in sacks of the San Francisco 49ers. They cannot afford to lose him. He is one of their finest defensive linemen. Great quickness and strength across the line of scrimmage. The team doctor is there talking to him now. With the score, 0-0. There's a timeout on the field.
And a half-yard line, and Roger Staubach jams the ball on a quarterback keeper right up the middle. He's over the 30. He's up to the 31-yard line, and the Cowboys have a first down at their 31. All right, the four-man front set up for the 49ers. That's Cedric Hardman, Bill Cook in for Cleveland Elam, who was shaken up moments ago, Jimmy Webb, and Tommy Hart in that front line. Now into the I formation with a wingback out to the right-hand side. The tight end Dupree into motion. Here's the handoff. Nope, fluffing it up the middle. Staubach back to throw. Looks, goes to the sidelines. Newhouse, he's got the ball and can't hold it as he goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Willie Harper over there dropped off, did a beautiful job of coverage there on little Bob Newhouse. And at the 35, jarred him loose from the football as he went out of bounds.
Willie Harper doesn't have great size. He's a 220-pounder. Actually, he's really under that, about 215 pounds. But he pursued well on that play. Dallas got the matchup they wanted. They got the fullback on the linebacker, but it just didn't work out.
Bob Newhouse, believe it or not, a full-time starter, only one out of the first 5 years in the National Football League, but a fine football player. High formation in the backfield with second down and 10. And here's the short man. That's Newhouse again, drilling up the middle. He got to the 34. He's piled up right at that point. The red jerseys are covering him down there at about the 34-yard line. Tommy Hart was there, Skip Vanderbunt was there, Ed Bradley, Bill Cook, all converging on him. They make the stop, and the officials put it down just short of the 35. So let's call it third down now. Third and a long 6 for the Cowboys at their 35.
Robert Newhouse, who has 628 yards coming into this game, got all of that yardage on his own. A 4-yard gain. It'll be third down and 6.
Wide to the left-hand side is Drew Pearson. Look out. He's the man who can go long. Now in the slot to the right is Dorsett. Here's the snap on the shotgun. Back to throw. Staubach. The rush is on. Look out behind. They've got him from behind, and down he goes. Cedric Hardman was the man who got to him. Hardman wrapped him up at the 30-yard line.
A great pass rusher from the state of Texas. Cedric Hardman makes the tackle, catching Staubach from behind. By the way, Cleveland Elam is all right. He walked off the field under his own power and undoubtedly will be back playing for the San Francisco 49ers. But right now, it's a punting situation for Tom Landry and the Cowboys.
The ball is just back at the 30-yard line. It'll be fourth down 11 and back into punt formation. For the Cowboys goes Danny White. He's the number 8 punter in the NFC. 39.4 is the average. Dave Williams is back in safety, and we've got a double safety back there. We've got Stan Black, and we've got Dave Williams, and we've got a whistle, and just maybe too much time down there. Let's find out. No, a new football. They've asked from the sidelines to have a new football thrown in. It is not that cold kind of football that was asked for so many times for the Washington Redskins and the St. Louis Cardinals on Saturday in mutual Saturday coverage, that doubleheader. Here's the snap. Here is White stepping forward. He puts his foot into it. Waiting for the football is number 26, Stan Black. And just for a moment after he grabs it, he is wrapped up, thrown back to the 20-yard line. The forward motion may have been stopped at the 22. There's a timeout here with a score. The Cowboys, nothing. The 49ers, nothing. Now.
Quip, QWIP, from Quip Systems, a division of Exxon Enterprises, Inc. To find out how you can install incredible Quip in your office, call toll-free 800-221-2222.
It's crazy not to use Quip.
Superb special teams work by the Dallas Cowboys. They excel in all facets of the game. Puts the San Francisco 49ers back on the 23-yard line. And making the big play for Dallas was Benny Barnes.
Gene Washington breaks out of the huddle, and he goes wide to the right-hand side. An I formation to the backfield with Delvin Williams and Wilbur Jackson back in there, in the I, directly behind quarterback Jim Plunkett. First down, 49ers, they're 23. A handoff, beautiful handoff to Williams. Coming right down the back of the line and cutting over the right tackle, and he brings it out to the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. He may have been nailed as far up as the 30 as they unpile. It is going to be placed just short of the 30-yard line. Randy White and middle linebacker Bob Bruning are responsible for the tackle.
And Gene Barrett, the right tackle, laid a beautiful block on Ed Too Tall Jones on the left side of the line. Came out and just steamrolled him.
Second down, 2nd and 3. San Francisco at their own 30-yard line. Pro set in the backfield. Plunkett off to Williams. Williams trying the right side on the slant. He hit the tackle, bounced off. If it was a tackle trap, it did not work. Randy White, the big youngster from Maryland, who is doing such a great job. He's been the most valuable defensive player in 3 of the last 5 games the Cowboys have played. The stop is made at the 31. It'll be third down 2.
When you and I talk to coaches, Al, they always talk to us about quickness. Well, Randy White is the personification of the quick football player. Big size, that he is as fast as any back on the field.
Kenny Harrison comes out of there. Tom Mitchell and I believe Obradovich are in there. 2 tight ends are going to try to jam the 2 yards. Here's the quarterback, Plunkett, and Plunkett hands it, and diving over the top with the football is Delvin Williams, and Williams has got the yardage. He brings it up to about the 34-yard line. Benny Barnes in at the strong safety there for the Cowboys. Makes the pin on him, but he really did a swan on that.
He did, and he's got a very quick start. He's an excellent running back. Great sense of where to go. That time he didn't have a hole. Dallas had it covered well, so he went up into the air.
Both receivers are wide to the left, Kenny Harrison and Gene Washington. Wide out to the left-hand side. Now a slot back out to the right-hand side. One man behind the quarterback. Back goes Plunkett. Looks to the sidelines. He throws. Got his man. Making the catch is Kenny Harrison on the sidelines and out of bounds at the 39. A gain of 5 big yards with a sideline pattern from Jim Plunkett to Kenny Harrison. And Aaron Kyle is responsible for bumping him out.
Aaron Kyle, an outstanding player from the University of Wyoming, who has earned himself a number 1 spot at cornerback, a number 1 draft choice of the Dallas Cowboys.
It'll be second down and 4 for San Francisco. They have the ball directly on the 40-yard line, and again, both receivers are wide left, Washington and Harrison. The backfield in an eye, then shifting to the pro set. The handoff to Williams, wide out to the right, tries to turn the corner. He's wrapped up right at the 40-yard line. Driving in there very quickly was Charlie Waters. Waters crossed the line. Along with him was Bob Bruning. They have great lateral pursuit, this defensive unit of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, they do. They're a reading defense. That's what coaches call a defense where they stand at the line of scrimmage, maybe take one step and look to find out where their keys are and where the ball is going. But that time they pursued. Henderson pursuing savagely from his linebacker spot. By the way, Williams has 25 yards and 7 carries, and Wilbur Jackson, who was blocking on that play, is hurt. Jackson coming in with a very, very good record as far as rushing is concerned, 708 yards. With the score, 0-0, there's a timeout on the field, and now this for Pennzoil. Wilbur Jackson, in what looked like a leg injury, is now okay after being ministered to by the team doctor of the 49ers, and Wilbur is walking off under his own power. No score, 6:06 left in the first quarter. Pat Sheridan, Al Wester on Mutual from Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
Bobby Farrell, a 6-year veteran from UCLA, replaces the injured Jackson, the shaken-up Jackson, in the backfield of the San Francisco 49ers. All right, it's third down now. Third and about 4. Pro set in the backfield with both wide receivers split out to the left-hand side. Plunkett waiting for the snap. There's a flag on the play. The Cowboys jump the gun. And straight up the middle with the football goes Delvin Williams, and Williams drives it over the 45 to the midfield stripe. It is down at the 48-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. 2 flags were flying there. Bobby Farrell was the man who carried that ball, and Farrell is tackled by Tom Henderson. But I believe the offside penalty against Dallas will be refused, and they'll take the gain instead. First down, San Francisco.
Well, busting into the backfield was Harvey Martin along with the linebacker. They caught the linebackers up around the line of scrimmage on the play that went to the right, and they moved out the tackle on the left side of the Dallas defensive line for the big gain.
Harrison wide to the right. Split out to the left-hand side is Washington. In the backfield, Farrell and Williams in the pro set. It's first down at the 48-yard line of the Cowboys, and back to throw is Plunkett. Rolling to the left, he looks, he goes with the long one, and it's caught and out of bounds after making the catch. Washington down at the 14-yard line. A great catch. He caught it against Aaron Kyle.
Well, Harvey Martin from his right defensive end spot took the inside route, and he was hammered by the offensive tackle on that 34-yard gain. What made it possible was that inside route, because Plunkett then made the move to the outside and got room to throw. We pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
This is WGN Radio, Chicago.
Beautiful catch by Gene Washington down the sidelines. It's first down for the 49ers at the Dallas Cowboy 14-yard line. The receivers are split out. There's an I formation in the backfield. Now, Plunkett calling the signals, has him shift to the left. In the left set is Delvin Williams, and here's the handoff, and going straight forward with the football is Williams as he goes into the line. down to about the 11-yard line. And let's see, getting up off the bottom there, Jim Plunkett held on to the football. He bluffed up the middle, then dove over himself to the 11-yard line. Ed Too Tall Jones gets credit for the tackle.
The San Francisco 49ers made their first mistake on that play. Bob Farrell missed the handoff. So they are already missing Wilbur Jackson. Farrell went in ahead of Plunkett. Without the ball, Plunkett couldn't give it to him.
A gain of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. San Francisco at the Dallas 11-yard line. Plunkett again, having his backs from the eye, shifts strong to the left. The handoff is to Williams, and Williams starts into the right tackle spot and immediately is wrapped up by Randy White. Randy White was on top of him as he hit the line of scrimmage. And down on the bottom, getting up, is Ed Jones again.
That was a power smash over Gregory's tackle position, and they had a hole there, but Williams went to the wrong side. He went to the right of the hole. He went over the defensive end, and at that place, there was no hole at all, just a lot of Dallas jerseys.
Bill Gregory is in there in that defensive line for the Cowboys. It is 3rd down, 3rd and 7. San Francisco at the 11-yard line of the Cowboys. And back goes Plunkett, sets up to throw. He looks, he throws to his short man at the 3, and down with the ball, flipping and falling as he made the catch was Tom Mitchell. Mitchell at the 3-yard line made the catch and fell forward to the 1. Benny Barnes gets credit for pinning him, but there was the beautiful proposition of simply sending 2 men deep into the end zone and throwing to the 3rd man rolling.
Harrison went to the far corner, drew all the coverage with him, the quarterback and the safety man, and then the tight end was open. He came in under the coverage, linebackers at the line of scrimmage. They were occupied, caught the ball, should have had a touchdown, but slipped and fell.
San Francisco, 1st and goal to go from the Dallas 1-yard line. No score in the ball game. We're in the first quarter, 3 minutes and 40 seconds with the clock running. Here's quarterback Jim Plunkett looking to the right, then to the left. The man in motion out to the right-hand side. Plunkett rolls to the left himself. He'll try to run it in, puts his shoulders down, tries to jam it in there, but he's stopped at the 1-yard line. D.D. Lewis is over there, along with Bob Brunig, Ed Jones, and let's see who else. Harvey Martin is down there. So there's no gain on the play, and it will be 2nd and goal to go from the 1.
Well, Plunkett had 1 man running interference for him. There were 3 Cowboys standing at the goal line waiting for him. Obviously, what that play was designed to do was to get the Cowboys to run the other way on the coverage, but they did not react to that. They expected Plunkett to do what he did.
It'll be 2nd down there at the 1-yard line. Both tight ends, Mitchell and Obradovich, are in there. A man in motion to the left for San Francisco from the 1, and the handoff and driving it over the left tackle with the football is Bobby Farrell. He scores a touchdown. San Francisco takes the lead. It's San Francisco 6 and the Cowboys nothing.
That was a 77-yard drive. It started on the San Francisco 23-yard line. The key play in that drive was the pass to Gene Washington that netted about 34 yards that put Plunkett and the 49ers in good position. So the 49ers score first in this football game, looking snappy, alert, and accurate on a 77-yard touchdown drive.
Here's the point after try. There's a flag on the play as the kick is put up there by Ray Wershing. The kick was good. Now let's see what the officials say. Offside against Dallas declined by San Francisco. The point is good. So it is now San Francisco 7 and Dallas nothing. And we've got ourselves a football game going now. The Dallas Cowboys coming in here after locking up a divisional playoff spot.
This is where the bowls are. Now we're talking about Mutual. Mutual presents the best postseason lineup of bowl action. The Liberty Bowl, the Hall of Fame Bowl, the Gator Bowl, the East-West Shrine Game. They're really excited about that game this year in the San Francisco area. There's the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, and the NFL Pro Bowl, plus the NFL first-round playoffs and the AFC Championship game over many of these Mutual stations. What an outstanding lineup of football games here at Mutual. This coming weekend, we have the meeting between Washington and the Los Angeles Rams from Washington on Saturday. Tony Roberts and I will be broadcasting that game here on Mutual. 49ers go on ahead 7-0 over Dallas on a 77-yard touchdown drive that started at the 23. Now the kickoff.
Here's the kickoff now. San Francisco puts it high in the air. Butch Johnson waits for it at the 12, out to the 15, laterally across the field, finding a hole, goes to the 20. He's on his way to the 25. He's piled on there at the 25. Falls forward to about the 27-yard line. Down there getting up is Johnson, Butch Johnson, who ran that back beautifully. The man who made the tackle was Stan Black.
Roger Staubach and the Cowboys have not had good field position at all in this game. Now we have 2:35 to go, and the Cowboys have had possession on the 25, the 20, and the 27.
Dallas comes up to the line. They have one man out wide to the left, and that would be Drew Pearson. Now Golden Richards is in a slot to the left-hand side. I formation in the backfield. Newhouse and Dorsett are behind the quarterback. Faking a pitch out. Here's the quarterback keeping on the play. Roger Staubach. He looked as though he were going to pitch that ball out. Then he realized somewhere somebody had blown it. He just dove forward over the right tackle. Jimmy Webb was there. Cedric Hardman was on hand. And Staubach picks up just about a yard up to the 32.5-yard line.
It was supposed to be a pitch sweep right. Instead, Dorsett, the tailback, headed left. Staubach had presence of mind when he was just about ready to throw the ball to look to see if Dorsett was there. He was not.
Both receivers are wide now. To the right-hand side goes Pearson. To the left-hand side is Mr. Richards. And here we go. Back goes Staubach in the pocket. He looks. He throws over the middle of the 42. It's complete. Up to the 50, down to the 45, on his way to the 40, and out of bounds with the football is number 88, Drew Pearson, the man who usually carries it but big. He is hit across the way by Bruce Taylor and nailed and knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. And the Cowboys now strike with a long pass. A beautiful pitch by Roger Staubach right on the button to Drew Pearson, the number 1 receiver in the National Football Conference.
Butch Johnson goes on the post pattern. Going in right behind him after the safeties leave their zones is Drew Pearson grabbing the ball. Superbly executed pass play.
First down for Dallas at the 38-yard line. They have a slot back to the left-hand side. The tight end, Dupree, is a man in motion. I formation in the backfield, and the handoff to Dorsett. Trying to get off the tackle, puts his shoulders down. He is drilled into by Bruce Taylor as the linebacker, Willie Harper, comes over to contain him. Taylor makes a tackle. I don't believe there's any gain at all. It's going to be second down and 10.
Dorsett has only managed to run for 11 yards to this point in this football game, so he has been pretty well covered by the defense of the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers on defense play it aggressively. They play a bubble either to the weak or the strong side in a 4-man defensive line. Those linebackers pursue, and they really get in there and scratch.
Here's Pearson out wide to the right. Now as they shift and flex, they put the pro set in the backfield behind Staubach. Roger hands it off to Newhouse. Wide to the left. Will he turn the corner? He gets to the corner across at the sidelines. Out of bounds as he tried to get inside of the 35. He's out at the 34 as Willie Harper does the job and turns him and keeps him, contains him, and runs him laterally across the field. A pickup of just about 3 yards. It's going to be third down and 6 for Dallas, with the ball at the 34-yard line of San Francisco.
Veering to the right, the San Francisco defense would not allow the Dallas Cowboys, Ralph Neely and Tony Dorsett, to break blocks for the running back. They just strung it out beautifully.
The nickel defense is in now. A big third down play. Third and 6, Dallas at the 34-yard line of San Francisco, and the 49ers lead. From the shotgun, back goes Staubach to throw, and the rush is on. He runs it up the pocket himself to the 30, to the 25-yard line. He's cut down at the 25-yard line. Is coming up to meet him is number 59, Willie Harper. Oh, what a run by Roger Staubach. He looked, he saw that the drop by the linebackers was deep. The middle was open, and he took it.
He certainly did, and he broke a tackle by Mel Phillips on about the 30-yard line that allowed him to get about 5 extra yards on the play. That was a 9-yard gain by Staubach, and he has 11 yards rushing up to this point in the game.
At the 25-yard line, it's first down for Dallas. 7-0, San Francisco in front, and the Cowboys trying to play catch-up football. Pearson is wide out to the right side. In the I formation, Dorsett is the number 2 back behind Robert Newhouse. Now in the pro set, Newhouse cracking the tackle to the 20. On his feet, fights his way to the 15. He's down to the 14-yard line, and they've got another first down. The Cowboys are moving the ball inside.
Ralph Neely giving the big block on the left side of that line. There's the end of the first quarter with the score. The San Francisco 49ers 7, the Dallas Cowboys nothing. Now this for Ben Franklin's story.
We've got a big doubleheader coming your way, so don't miss it on the weekend. Butch Johnson out to the left, Drew Pearson to the right. First down, Dallas at the San Francisco 14-yard line. I formation in the backfield. Dorsett and Newhouse are sitting behind Staubach, and here's the handoff. Dorsett up the middle. He's to the 12. hit at the 12 and falls forward to the 10-yard line. Ed Bradley, the middle linebacker of the 49ers, gets credit on that one.
And it was a nice little move by Dorsett. As he hit the line of scrimmage, he skipped to his right and then quickly cut to his left and got about a couple of extra yards as a result of that neat maneuver along the line of scrimmage. 40 yards passing for the Dallas Cowboys, 40 yards running, a total of 80 yards, and they have 4 first downs.
We'll call it a gain of 4 yards on the play, and we'll call it 2nd down and 6 now, with one man split out to the left-hand side, and that appears to be Drew Pearson. The eye is in the backfield again. Staubach with a long count. Handing it off, Pearson, Brother Dorsett off the left tackle to the 5-yard line. Hit at the 5, and down he goes as Ralph McGill comes up from the free safety. And as McGill hit him, apparently McGill has injured a knee. He is down on the turf, and he is holding that knee high in the air. Apparently an injury that must be rather excruciating in pain.
It has to be, and of course the knee injury is the one injury football players fear the most. Dorsett making a nice run on the crossbuck, taking the handoff from Roger Staubach, the quarterback. The blocking on the left side of the line provided by Ralph Neely and Herb Scott, and they really cleared the way for Dorsett, who, when he gets just a little bit of daylight, really makes a maximum use of the yardage that he gets from his offensive line. All right, let's look at the yardage for the San Francisco 49ers in this game. They have 47 yards passing, 47 yards running, 94 total, 3 first downs. Dallas has 4 first downs, and neither team has lost the ball via a fumble or an intercepted pass. And penalties, there has only been one, and that was on the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys lead in plays with 14. So that pretty well summarizes the statistics of the first quarter as they continue to look at Ralph McGill down on the 5-yard line on the near side of the field. And, of course, the sun is down here in San Francisco, California, after a gloriously beautiful day in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's cool here tonight, but very, very comfortable.
Indeed it is. And Pat Sheridan, it has been a beautiful afternoon. It's been a beautiful couple days here, really, coming out of St. Louis, where we had a great football game on Saturday afternoon. You had one on Saturday afternoon. We had the second half of the doubleheader between the Washington Redskins and the St. Louis Cardinals, but we came out of the snowbanks there into what looked like summer all over again.
Oh, that game that you had was certainly one of the most interesting you'd ever want to see. The master defensive strategist, George Allen, just doing a magnificent coaching job. And the Cardinals certainly had a chance to win it all the way through. We expect all of our mutual NFL games to be like that, what with the playoffs coming up and everything else. Now, McGill comes off of the field, and it looks like he is having trouble with his left knee. Unfortunately, he is being escorted at the moment over toward the bench. He will be sitting down directly below us, and at that point, we'll get some more attention from the team physician of the San Francisco 49ers.
Dallas comes up to the line of scrimmage. It is 3rd down and about a yard to go. Tight formation, both tight ends are in there. Staubach looks down the line, hands it off to Dorsett. Inside right tackle, trap play. He's got the yard and an extra. There's Dorsett going off the right tackle as Tony Leonard met him right at the line and hit him head on at the 3-yard line, but that is more than enough. He's by a yard, well over a yard. He's got the first down.
Dorsett just showed us there that he is deceptively strong. He bounced off a pile-driving tackle by Leonard and moved up for more yardage, getting more yardage. He has great strength in his upper body.
It'll be 1st and goal for the Dallas Cowboys, and they send Drew Pearson out wide to the right-hand side. The setbacks are split wide apart now at the 3-yard line of San Francisco and inside to give it to Dorsett, and he's piled up immediately as Ed Bradley, the middle linebacker of the 49ers, and Willie Harper are there to wrap him up at the 2-yard line. He may have picked up a yard, but no more than that. Moments ago, I started to say something about Washington, and I think I should mention again that George Allen's Washington Redskin football team played a tremendous football game against the Cardinals in St. Louis on Saturday. That's one I think that George knew the chips were down, and if there was any hopes at all, the Redskin hopes had to be kept alive with a win, and they won. All right, 2nd down, goal to go from the 2-yard line. Staubach again with the chant. Hands stretched under Fitzgerald. He's got it. He hands off and driving forward. Tony Dorsett at the 1-yard line. Piled up at the 1. Oh, those 49ers just fought him every step of the way and beat him back.
Yes, and he beat them, too, taking it almost into the end zone. before being pushed back by 4 San Francisco 49ers. As we said, Dorsett is a lot stronger than he looks. He played much of his college career at 175, but Johnny Majors got him on a weightlifting program, and in his senior year, he was playing between 195 and 198, and he's very, very strong.
Big third down play now. Dallas at the 1-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. Staubach on the keeper, tries to dive it over. Did he get it? He got it. He got it. There go the hands up. It's touchdown for Dallas. 7-6 is the score right now. The San Francisco 49er lead is trimmed to 1 point.
That was a 73-yard drive by the Dallas Cowboys. And I suppose you would say that key play, the one that was the most important, was the heave to Drew Pearson that helped along on that drive. However, there were several other key plays along this long drive by the Cowboys that resulted in that touchdown from 1 yard out by Staubach.
Efren Herrera, who is the number 1 scorer in the NFC with 85 points, will try to add the point after and tie it up. Here's the snap. The ball is down and the kick is on the way. It's good. It is there. So, with the score, the Cowboys 7, the 49ers 7. There's a timeout on the field. Now, this for Buick Automobile.
Roger Staubach takes it in for the Dallas Cowboys from 1 yard out, culminating a 73-yard drive. And as far as the Cowboys are concerned in rushing, Tony Dorsett up to this point has, 12, 16. He has 22 yards in rushing up to this point and 9 carries. The Dallas Cowboys will be kicking off now. Dorsett started to get that running game going just a little now.
Harvey Martin was there. D.D. Lewis was there. Aaron Kyle came up on the tackle. So you had a whole dearth of Dallas activity down there, and the stop is made at the 26.
Gene Barrett has been his man here in this football game, opening up the biggest holes for him. He couldn't do it that time. Martin controlled it.
Harrison and Gene Washington are wide to the left. It's second down now and 12. San Francisco at their own 26-yard line. The snap, the handoff. Coming to the right, trying to turn the corner. Can't do it. Williams pulled down at the 25-yard line as Cliff Harris from the free safety sails across. And boy, did he come across in a hurry. Cliff made the tackle, blasted him out of bounds there.
We just got an example of why Cliff Harris is an all-league performer in the NFL. Coming over and on 2 plays out of the last 3, making the big tackle. First on the right side, and the second one on the left side, pursuing to the ball carrier and cutting him down. Why?
3rd and 13 for the 49ers. The nickel defense is in for Washington, for Dallas. Back in the pocket, Plunkett sets up, the flag's flying, and Plunkett is caught from behind. Harvey Martin has himself a sack. Does he get a sack there now? The quarterback, Plunkett, got back to the line of scrimmage. But what was the flags for?
It might have been a holding call against the San Francisco 49ers because the pass protection was breaking down and somebody might have reached out an arm in frustration trying to hold the player off of the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. There is the holding call, and I think there were 2 penalties called on that last play.
Offsetting penalties against both clubs. So the ball goes to the 23-yard line, and it is picked up and then put back down as the officials put a new ball into play there.
The down, of course, will be run over here. It'll be 3rd down.
Well, it's put at the point where the quarterback was downed at the 25. So it'll be 3rd and 13. 3rd down, 13, I formation. 1 receiver for San Francisco is wide, Gene Washington. Now splitting out to the left-hand side is Paul Seal. He can also travel. And in the slot to the right is Kenny Harrison. And back goes Plunkett to throw. Boy, was he hit. He unloosens the football. Intended for Washington down at the 42-yard line. There's a flag back there at the 16-yard line. Washington had the ball batted away as Bill Gregory lured the boom on quarterback Jim Plunkett. He really hit him.
Oh, he blasted it. And it came just as the ball was going to be released. As a matter of fact, Plunkett knew it was going to happen, but he just stood there courageously, hoping that his receiver, Washington, would get open and release the ball at the last moment. The flag is down on the field, and we have not as yet had an indication from the official as to what the penalty is all about. The pass was incomplete, and Plunkett really played it dangerously. He got up slowly off of the field.
Penalty was against San Francisco. It is declined by Dallas. Butch Johnson is a lone safety now as San Francisco gets ready to punt the football. Tom Woodham is in there. About a 36-yard average is what he had. The 10 steps forward, puts his foot into it. Line drive, nice one, hanging up there. It backs the runner up. Johnson has it at the 32, to 35, up to the 40. He's to the 45. He's to the midfield stripe. Still running with the football into San Francisco territory, down to the San Francisco 47. So, with the score, the Cowboys 7, the 49ers 7.
The Dallas Cowboys have just achieved their first good field position of the game. Until this time, they got the ball on their 27, their 20, the 25, and now it's on the 48-yard line. First down, 10.
Tony Dorsett and Robert Newhouse are the setbacks in that backfield for Dallas with Roger Staubach. It's first down for Cowboys at the 48-yard line of San Francisco, and Roger has the ball. Roger the Dodger back to throw. He looks, runs up to the line. He's going to run with the football at the 45. He is hit from the side, drilled down at the 40-yard line of San Francisco, and that's a good run, an 8-yard pickup before Bill Cook makes the tackle. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
This is WGN Radio, Chicago.
The Dallas Cowboys trying to take advantage of the good field position that they have achieved the first time in this game. They have 2 yards to go on second down.
Drew Pearson splits out to the left-hand side. The only man out for the Cowboys with the second down 2 from the 40-yard line. In the I formation, Dorsett and Newhouse. Now the shift, the handoff to Newhouse. Over the right tackle, he's inside the 40. He's down to the 35. There's more than enough. More than enough for the first down. And the Cowboys have a first down at San Francisco's 35-yard line. Skip Vanderpunt and Willie Harper get credit on that last stop.
And it was a nice run by Newhouse because he jitterbugged a little at the line of scrimmage, allowing his tackle on the right side of the line and the tight end, Jay Saldi, to lay their blocks. In other words, he patiently waited for the hole to open.
Again, the Cowboys line up with only Drew Pearson out wide to the left. The man who moves over for San Francisco to cover him is Bruce Taylor, the right cornerback. And here's the handoff. Hit behind the line of scrimmage the minute he had the football is Newhouse. He was blasted back at the 36-yard line. Cedric Hardman, the big 8-year veteran on the right side, the big defensive end over there for San Francisco, was right there with the shoulder.
He hit him, and hit him hard. And that cools the Dallas Cowboy running attack, makes it second down 12. Now, what a coach wants is to get anywhere from 5 to 8 yards on first down, to chew up that big yardage on first down, so the quarterback has a wide selection of plays to call. But Dallas is the hole now with a second and 12.
All right, now into the ball game comes Golden Richards. And going out of the game, Tony Dorsett. Newhouse is there, so is Pearson in the backfield. Back goes Staubach. He looks, he throws the screen, making the catch with the football. Running it now is Preston Pearson to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's all the way. He goes for the touchdown. Preston Pearson taking the pass from Staubach and going to the right side. And that just might be our key play of the night. Oh, what a play that was. A beautiful touchdown run after the ball was tossed to him. A screen all the way, Pat. You can't ask for a better screen than that. He had 3 men in front of him.
Yes, he did. One of them was Rafferty, who laid a big block. Donovan laid another. Got the good blocking from his linemen, used them perfectly, cut to the outside after the blocks, found the sideline, and after that, Preston Pearson, who was an underrated back, was gone.
Here's Herrera to try the point after, and Charlie Waters will hold. 13-7. The Cowboys are in front. Here's the kick on the way, and it is good. So, there's a timeout here at San Francisco with the score. The Cowboys 14, the 49ers 7.
36-yard touchdown pass on the screen to Preston Pearson. Great use of the blockers by Pearson, intelligent running, and he showed his speed, and when he cut quickly to the outside, a 48-yard drive makes it 14-7 in favor of Dallas.
Paul Hopper is the deep man. He is a yard inside, or a yard back in the end zone now, as Efren Herrera steps forward and sends a spinning kick down to about the 14-yard line, out to the 20, up to the 25, to the 30-yard line, and running the football back was Dave Williams. Williams is cut down at about the 32. So San Francisco now brings it out to their 32-yard line, and with 7 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the first half, and with the Cowboys leading 14-7, it is going to be up to San Francisco quarterback Jim Plunkett to try and move the football.
One of Plunkett's problems has been the fact that he has not received anywhere near adequate protection from his line.
Washington is wide to the right. Splitting out to the left-hand side is Kenny Harrison. High formation in the backfield. Plunkett with a long count. Has the snap. Pitches it out. Delvin Williams wide to the left, cuts in at the 32. Hit down at the line of scrimmage is Bob Bruning. Comes across, and along with Bruning there, Tom Henderson. So some strong play there, very strong play by the defensive unit of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, that's the way you're supposed to play middle linebacker. You want to run a text on how to stop the sweep from the middle linebacker position. Just take that and put it on film and show it to anybody you want to.
Washington and Harrison are wide left. A gain of about a yard on the play. Let's call it 2nd down 9. The setbacks are wide in the backfield. Jim Plunkett handing off this time. Wilbur Jackson tries the tackle slot. He got to the 31. He's hit down by Randy White, and he loses a yard. Cowboys are now playing it the way it's supposed to be played.
Yes, they are. They're playing perfect defense. They're not making any mistakes at all, filling every single hole, reading perfectly from their front four, and those men behind them, Henderson, Bruning, and D.D. Lewis pursuing to the ball magnificently. And now San Francisco, with the fans getting restless, is on the 31-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Jim Plunkett moving his men around now. He swings Paul Seal, the tight end, over to the right side. Man in motion out to the right-hand side with the setback strong behind the quarterback. And here goes Plunkett back in the pocket. Flags on the play. He throws. It's complete at the 35. And the minute he caught that football, he is wrestled down. The grab was made by Delvin Williams. The tackle was made by Aaron Kyle.
Aaron got him around the waist and spun him down. Williams might have gotten away from him. Had he kept his balance, he would have rambled for at least a 1st down. There is a penalty flag on the play. The officials have been conferring with the Dallas Cowboys and with the San Francisco 49ers. And now the indication. And it's illegal motion, I believe, on the San Francisco 49ers, refused by the Dallas Cowboys. So we have a punting situation at Candlestick Park.
Tom Whittam is the man who's standing back at the 21-yard line of San Francisco. And for the Cowboys, it is Butch Johnson back at about the 22-yard line of the Cowboys. He comes up to make the catch at the 28, to the 30, the 35, still on his feet. Gets out to the 40-yard line and is wrestled down at that point. Butch brings it back to the 40. He is hit down by Stan Black.
Eddie Brown of the Washington Redskins and Butch Johnson of the Dallas Cowboys are really the premier punt return experts in pro football. And Johnson has showed us on a couple of occasions here this evening why he has to be considered one of the best. California Riverside product takes it up to the 40-yard line where Dallas has a 1st and 10. This is the 2nd time that the Cowboys have achieved field position in this quarter.
Dorsett now has returned to the ball game. Robert Newhouse and Tony Dorsett are the setbacks. There's a slot back to the right. Jay Saldi moves over to the left-hand side. A lot of motion there as the handoff is given to Dorsett following his blocking. Turns the corner at the 40, out to the 45, and on his way to the 49. Flag on the play as Dorsett is hit at the 49-yard line and drilled out of bounds by Willie Harper. And the flag came flying. It may have been a late hit.
It might have been. He didn't get his block. He didn't get the block that he wanted on the play from his pulling guard. That was Tom Rafferty. So he went to the outside, and he broke a tackle by Bruce Taylor in the backfield and then roamed for the yardage. Now the indication as to what that penalty is about. The referee has the ball on the 49-yard line. That is Dick Jorgensen. He drops it all of a sudden and can't get the handle on it, and finally does. It's going to be a big step off against the San Francisco 49ers, the full 15 yards, taking it down to the 36-yard line. And that was a penalty at the wrong time because the Cowboys had field position. Unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike conduct against the San Francisco 49ers. The first penalty of that type in the football game. It's been a cleanly played game up to this point.
The ball has been stepped off down to the 36-yard line of San Francisco, and Preston Pearson replaces Tony Dorsett in the Dallas offensive backfield. Pearson is the number 2 man in the tandem in the I formation. Staubach drops back in the pocket. He's got time. He looks. He throws. The intended receiver, Drew Pearson, on the far sideline, slips down to the 24. Tony Leonard was over for the coverage there, but Drew just had his feet slide out from under him.
He did. It was kind of like he was on an ice skating rink, and actually the field is artificial turf and in very good condition, although last night in the San Francisco area in the early evening they had a very, very heavy rainfall, which incidentally here in California was much welcome. Dorsett comes back in the lineup.
Dorsett back in the lineup, and as they break the huddle, there's Drew Pearson, wide right. Splitting out to the left-hand side is Butch Johnson. In the I, Roger Staubach has the snap, drops back to throw, drops one out to Dorsett at the 35, down to the 30, on his way to the 25. Flags were flying as Dorsett made his way to the 25-yard line, and Bruce Taylor gets credit for the tackle there. So we've had a lot of flags tonight in this first half. We have 5:29 remaining before halftime. The Cowboys lead San Francisco 14-7, but they're coming back, and this one is going to be against Dallas.
Well, the 15-yarder hurt San Francisco, and now they may get some of that yardage back as Dallas has what looks like a major penalty against them. Injured player on San Francisco comes off the field. The team doctor immediately goes to him. The penalty is assessed back to the 46-yard line of San Francisco, and it's against the Dallas Cowboys, and it looks like illegal use of the hands by the Cowboys is the call. So the Cowboys have it on the 46-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers.
That's going to bring up second down and 20. Both receivers, Golden Richards and Drew Pearson, are wide left. Pearson is the man in motion out to the right-hand side. Wait a minute. Neely straightened up to block. Hardeman crossed the line. Neely may have drawn him. The old pro, 13-year veteran from Oklahoma. He's got bad knees, bad back, but he's got more intestinal fortitude than 9 out of 10 offensive linemen today, Pat.
Well, a lot of players like Neely who have great talent manage to stay on in the league because they work so hard at mastering the techniques that the younger, more physically superior players coming out of college cannot master. Pass blocking, pulling for the sweep plays. Neely masters it all.
A loss of 15 yards on penalties, and we've got second down now. Second and 25 coming up for the Cowboys from their own 49-yard line. Newhouse and Dorsett are in the I. Here's Staubach with a pitch out to Dorsett, sweeping the right side. He cuts in at the 50. He gets down to the 46-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers, and Tommy Hart, the big 10-year veteran from Morris Brown, that defensive left end, is there to wrap him up.
Jay Saldi just couldn't give Tony Dorsett the block he needed on Hart. Hart strung the play along. Saldi tried to knock Hart out of the play, couldn't handle him on the block. Hart broke the block and came over and got Dorsett. Dorsett waited, it must have been, to him at least, almost an eternity for Saldi to make the block, and he just couldn't do it.
Next Monday night, the Liberty Bowl. Lindsey Nelson and I will be in that beautiful city of Memphis, Tennessee. Then we'll move on to the Hall of Fame Classic. That's in Birmingham, Alabama. We've got two big ones coming up right there for you. As they line up, it is third down, 3rd and 20, and back goes Staubach to throw. He looks. He rifles one in the middle. It's complete. The catch is made by Billy Dupree. He's down at the 32-yard line. Tony Leonard was over there, but Billy Dupree made a great catch right there at the 32.
Well, let's see where they spot the ball now. It is down on the 32, like Al just told you, and that means they're going to be shy of a first down, but they certainly got the ball back and picked up some yardage. It'll be a 4th down coming up for Dallas on the 32-yard line, and let's make it about 5 yards to go. Dorsett, 39 yards in 12 carries. He started to get it going here in the second quarter of play for the Dallas Cowboys. Now let's see what Tom Landry and his staff come up with now on this 4th down play with about 5 to go.
Charlie Waters is in the hole. He'll spot the ball at the 39. And here's Efren Herrera. He'll try and kick one from 49 yards away. It's way short as it falls into the end zone. It is way short underneath the goalpost and off to the right. The attempted field goal is no good. So with 3 minutes and 46 seconds remaining before halftime, the Cowboys leading 14-7 over the 49ers. San Francisco takes over.
The San Francisco offense has found itself deep in its own territory. They got field position once in the first quarter on the 45-yard line. Right now they've got kind of a medium situation with the ball on the 31-yard line, first down 10.
In the backfield behind Jim Plunkett is Delvin Williams and Wilbur Jackson, and they have acquired 1,500 yards between them so far this year. They shift from the I formation, strong to the right. Williams is in the right set, and Jackson in the left, and Jackson takes a handoff, sweeps to the right-hand side. Can he get outside? No, indeed. At the 30-yard line, he's wrestled down by D.D. Lewis as the weak side linebacker of the Cowboys comes over to make the tackle. D.D. Lewis is a story in himself from Mississippi State. He's Cleveland, old friend of ours, is the public relations director down there at Mississippi State. And D.D. Lewis is one of his boys, and he always tells me when I go down there, how's my boy D.D. doing? Now, I have no idea. I really don't have any idea how Dwight Douglas Lewis is doing. Tonight, I can tell him he's doing fairly well. No gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10. San Francisco at that 31. Here's the snap. Back to throw. Goes Plunkett. He looks. Throws long. It is caught at the 41-yard line. And out of bounds with the football after a great touchdown. There is Gene Washington. Washington is wrapped up by Mark Washington. There is Gene Washington catching it, and Mark Washington, a cornerback for the Cowboys, making the tackle.
Well, Gene Washington hasn't had that much chance to excel this season because the 49ers had trouble with their passing game. But tonight, at least, Plunkett's arm, when he gets the time, seems to look just fine. He's got all kinds of mustard on that ball.
2 minutes and 33 seconds. The clock is running. That's all that remains in the half. 14-7 the Cowboys. Now, the 49ers against the clock. Both receivers are split wide. From the eye, they shift into a pro set. Here's the snap. Back goes Plunkett. He can throw with him. He's going with the bomb. Long one down into the corner pocket. Washington after it, can't get to it. Gene Washington made the turn to the outside. Following him all the way down was Aaron Kyle.
The boos are for Aaron Kyle. The fans here felt that Kyle sealed off the inside route by blocking the route to the goalpost where the ball was. Washington did make a move to the outside. Kyle got his body between Washington and the ball went falling in the end zone. The boos are not for the 49ers. They are for what the fans think was pass interference, but actually it was not.
49ers are huddling at the midfield stripe. They have a second down 10 from the Dallas 40-yard line, and Washington is wide out to the left. The only receiver split out. Now moving over, Tom Mitchell to the right side. A slot back to the left-hand side. Here's the snap. Fluffing up the middle. Play action. A pass to the sidelines at the 21. It's caught over there. The minute he made the catch, Washington is down. On top of him was Aaron Kyle, but he had to go down. He had to go on his knees to pick that one up.
Yes, he did. He's a marvelous receiver with great moves. With the score, Dallas 14 and San Francisco 7. There's a timeout on the field. For the moment, it's a Stanford show here at Candlestick Park as Stanford's Jim Plunkett at quarterback has started to get hot, throwing to Gene Washington, who we used to throw to at Stanford University. And Washington was a high school quarterback and one of the best in the state of California. Washington has caught 77 yards worth of passes and 3 catches. The Lazy Boy Chair Company will award a famous Lazy Boy recliner to tonight's outstanding offensive and defensive players.
At the 21-yard line of the Cowboys, it's first down for San Francisco. In the I formation, Plunkett has his setbacks. Williams and Jackson shift into the pro set now. Back goes Jim to throw. Plunkett looks. Tries to release to the side. To a back rolling out. Wilbur Jackson at the 15-yard line, but the pass is far short. Charlie Waters was over there to cover, but Wilbur Jackson had no chance to get that. The ball was thrown into the turf about 5 yards away from him.
I think it was tipped at the line of scrimmage by either Gregory or Randy White on the play as Dallas came crunching in with a savage pass rush, and Plunkett was hurried, and one big paw got up and nicked the ball.
Second down and 10. 49ers at the Dallas 21. As they break, Paul Seals goes wide to the left. Splitting out to the right-hand side is Kenny Harrison, and a slot back is Washington to the right. Here's the snap. Back goes the quarterback. Plunkett with the rush on. He's going to run to the 20, to the 15. He breaks one tackle, spins away, and falls to the turf at the 14-yard line. He got away from one tackler there at the 15. I thought he might get more yardage, But he got to the 14-yard line, very close to the first down. Benny Barnes is responsible finally for pinning him.
Well, Plunkett went back to pass, and the whole Dallas defensive line started to converge on him. He saw the pocket disintegrating around him, so he immediately took off and made the right decision at the right time as he goes down to about the 14-yard line, and that will bring up a third down and 3 yards to go. An 8-yard gain for Jim Plunkett on the play, and Plunkett's going to... Gene Washington comes to the sideline now to confer with Ken Meyer and the San Francisco staff. Plunkett is over there as well, and they're having a conference.
I have to say this about Ken Meyer. He's done a great job with this team. His first year, he took over here. Now he's come along with the football team. He's won 5 of his last 7 ball games. San Francisco had a horrendous start against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were inept. They couldn't move the football. They could not do anything well. Well, that has all changed now. Kenny Meyer has done a real fine job of coaching here at San Francisco. This ball club now faces a 3rd and 3 situation. The ball at the Dallas 14-yard line. They need 3 big yards on this play to keep their hopes for a touchdown alive, and they trail 14-7. We have 1 minute and 43 seconds remaining. Fans, I'd like to remind you again across the network and across this country and around the world on American Forces Radio that Mutual is truly your bowl headquarters. The Liberty Bowl, the Hall of Fame Bowl, the Gator Bowl, the East-West Shrine Game, the Sugar Bowl and the Orange Bowl, the NFL Pro Bowl, all of them you'll hear right here over many of these Mutual stations. Both tight ends are in there now. Here's a big 3rd down, 3 play. Plunkett has a man in motion to the left-hand side, takes the snap and hands it off instead with the football. Williams over the right tackle. He's got the yardage. He's down to the 10-yard line. Stanford. Cliff Harris comes up and makes the tackle on Delvin Williams, and he hit him at the 10-yard line. That is enough for the first down.
Del Williams now has 33 yards in this football game as he hammers down to deep in Dallas territory. That could be a very important play in this game. It might be a key play, as a matter of fact. So far, the key play, if you want to look back, has been that one screen pass of 36 yards for a touchdown. But the game could change as the momentum changes as we move along in this football game. So the ball on the 10-yard line on the near hash mark with 1:35 to go in the second quarter. The Dallas Cowboys have their hands full against a San Francisco 49er football team that has stayed in this football game, and now they have launched a drive. San Francisco's drive started on the 32-yard line. The Buick Motor Division of General Motors Corporation will award a 1978 Buick Regal to the most outstanding NFL player this year, as voted by the writers and broadcasters who actually cover the Mutual games. Previous winners have been Burt Jones, Fran Tarkenton, Kenny Stabler, and O.J. Simpson. The ballots are being distributed throughout the league, and we'll be announcing the name of this year's winner during the first round of the NFL playoff games as they are broadcast over Mutual. What great football we have coming up on Mutual.
Pat Sheridan, the San Francisco 49ers have the ball inside of the 10-yard line. It's a matter now. 9.5 yards of real estate stand between them and the possibility of a tie before the end of the first half. We have 1 minute and 35 seconds left. And Jim Plunkett brings his team up to the line of scrimmage in the I formation. Delvin Williams, Wilbur Jackson, they are in the pro set behind him. Here is Plunkett back to throw. He throws into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! That's Kenny Harrison right over the middle, makes the grab. The little guy from SMU. He's 6 foot tall, but he only weighs about 160 pounds. He made the grab. The score is on the boards, and San Francisco now trails Dallas by a single point.
Well, it was a pretty drive. It was a 68-yard drive by the San Francisco 49ers against the team that is ranked tops in the league in defense.
Ray Wersching will kick, or try to kick the extra point. Here's the boot. It is up. It is good. So, the score. The Cowboys 14, the 49ers 14. We'll have more after this special 60-second message for Budweiser and GM Trucks. The kickoff down deep to Butch Johnson at the 10-yard line out to the 20. He races it all the way back to the midfield stripe to the far sidelines, and he's out of bounds way across the field at the 20-yard line. Finally run out over there by Eddie Lewis. A great return taking the ball at about his own 10. Butch Johnson coming up, came directly up the middle, then broke to the far outside, went down and out of bounds, forced out over there at the 20-yard line, a 74-yard return. The ball is at the 20-yard line now. The 20-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers, and the Dallas Cowboys, with a minute 20, are threatening to take back the lead.
One area in this game where Dallas has a clear superiority is in the area of special teams, especially with those returns by Butch Johnson of the kickoffs and also the punts. Johnson with just a beautiful run, his third good run of this football game from a receiving position of either a kickoff or a punt. And he has managed to give Dallas superb field position. And this has to hurt the 49ers because they took the momentum back on that 68-yard touchdown drive, and now Dallas comes right back and rests the tempo of the game in their favor all the way down to the 20-yard line. The 49ers come fighting back, and so do the Dallas Cowboys. In minute 20 to go in the second quarter.
An injured player on the field across the way, and it's very difficult as the trainer leans over in there at the 16-yard line to pick a number up, and until you can get that number, I believe it is Burns. It is Burns, number 28. Burns, who has been injured there at the 17. He's sitting up, and the 49er trainer will have him, I'm sure, on his feet in a moment and taking him off the field. At the 20-yard line, the Cowboys have a first down. They're 20 yards away from the opportunity to go back in front. And with a minute and 20, you can bank on it. But the man who heads up the Dallas Cowboys will not go away empty-handed. He'll come up with a field goal if nothing else. Tom Landry, in 17 years of coaching, has turned out some fantastic football teams. He has a new 5-year contract now that takes him to 1982. He won 8 straight ball games this year, and everybody said, well, maybe he's going for broke. Maybe he'll go 14-0, and very promptly he lost to St. Louis and Pittsburgh. But then the Cowboys bounced right back with victories over Philadelphia and Washington. He is the 6th all-time winningest coach in professional football, Tom Landry, and that's his Cowboy team that's huddled at the 30-yard line. As they break the huddle, Golden Richards and Drew Pearson go wide to the right. There's an I formation in the backfield as Roger Staubach goes with his hands under the center. It shifts now, strong to the right-hand side in a pro set. Staubach is waiting for the snap. He has the ball, bluffs to one man, bluffs to another, rolls back, looks and throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Cowboys! In the end zone there. Rolling out of the backfield, Tony Dorsett simply outran his man, went down the sidelines. Skip Vanderbunt was the man who had to pick him up, and Skip Vanderbunt was nowhere close. It was Dorsett all the way, 3, 4, 5 full yards in front of a linebacker with great speed and with agility. He made the catch at the 2-yard line, stepped into the end zone, and the Cowboys are in front again, 20-14.
It was a beautiful play to see. 2 fakes and play action, reverses, and then Staubach goes by it back. They get isolation. Dorsett 4-3-40 on a cornerback. It was a mismatch.
Herrera is set to try the point after. The snap, it's placed down, flags on the play as he kicks it right between the uprights. Wait a minute, we'll have to wait for those flags and find out whether we have a point after or whether we have a penalty, which means they will have to kick again. No, the penalty against San Francisco declined. The point is on the scoreboard. So, 21-14, Dallas leads San Francisco. We'll have more after this special 60-second message. He can set at 2 minutes. He could run 30 plays. Well, that's long, long ago, and right now the man that's got to do it is the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, Jim Plunkett. Throw set in the backfield with the first down at the 8-yard line. The snap, the handoff. Wilbur Jackson up the middle. He's out to the 15. He came driving across on a crossbuck and brings it out to the 15-yard line where Bill Gregory wraps him up. Let's pause briefly here for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
30 minutes, 45 seconds past 9, 39 degrees from WGN Radio, Chicago.
The San Francisco 49ers huddling on the 5. They break that huddle and come on out against a 4-man defensive line.
Delvin Williams and Wilbur Jackson in the I formation. Again, Williams shifting strong to the left. Here's a handoff instead to Wilbur Jackson, and Jackson gets over the 15 as he just dove to the right side. He made a dive over the tackle. Tom Henderson, the left side, strong side linebacker for the Cowboys, has him at about the 17-yard line.
Well, the fans are booing here simply because they want the 49ers to put the ball up in the air. But look at it this way. The 49ers are well over 80 yards away from their goal line, and they are in a situation where if they put the ball in the air and they got a Dallas interception, Dallas could take the ball in very quick with a ball that deep in the San Francisco territory with 16 seconds to go.
Now it is 13, and the clock is ticking away, and there is 9. There's still a timeout for the 49ers, but they're not using it. 5 seconds. They come up to the line of scrimmage. Plunkett is ready. 2 seconds. They will not get another play off. It is all over. The first half wraps up. That's the end of the first half here with the score. The Cowboys 21, the 49ers 14. Now this for Arrow Shirts. Thank you very much, Pat Sheridan. And San Francisco now drops back set to receive the kickoff. The man who is down there deep for San Francisco is number 36, Paul Hopper. Efren Herrera will tee it up at the 35-yard line, but still there's a heavy cloud of smoke in the end zone, all across the end zone area. And I have my doubts that those in the upper deck here at Candlestick Park in San Francisco really can clearly see the football field. Just moments ago, there was so much smoke that came up from the firework display that we could not see the field through the clouds. Hopper is down at the goal line, standing directly between the two sideline straps in the middle of the field and about a yard deep in the end zone. Herrera is waiting for the whistle. The second half is about to get underway. 21-14, the Cowboys lead the 49ers as Herrera comes forward and puts the sailor up into the air. It hits on the 10-yard line. Hopper at the 8, out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. He's wrestled down at about the 32-yard line, bringing it back up before Mike Hegman finally makes a stop, and the officials mark the 32. So San Francisco will have a first down coming up at the 32-yard line. The 49ers down a touchdown. They have been able to move the football, and they've done it well. It was a 14-14 game with 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the first half. Up to the line of scrimmage, Jim Plunkett has his team. He's got them set now. He's shifting his men. Williams goes back into the backfield. Belvin Williams along with Wilbur Jackson. Here's Plunkett with the snap and the handoff to Williams, and Williams wide to the right, turns the tackle, slips down as he slides to about the 34-yard line. Middle linebacker Bob Bruning is responsible for the tackle at that point. Down at the 34-yard line, let's give them a pick up there of just about 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8 for San Francisco. Next Monday night from Memphis, Tennessee, the Liberty Bowl, and it is a good one. You'll hear it over Mutual. Nebraska and North Carolina will be on hand, Lindsey Nelson and I, to bring you the play-by-play action. In the I formation, San Francisco, second down 8. They have the ball, their own 34. Man in motion out to the right-hand side. Running the man in motion play is Harrison, and here's the handoff, and immediately stopped at the 32-yard line was fullback Wilbur Jackson. He ran right into Big Harvey Martin, 6'5", 252 pounds. Bob Bruning, the middle linebacker, was there to help make the tackle.
And Big Harvey hasn't made his usual amount of sacks, but he has been around putting an awful lot of pressure on quarterback Jim Plunkett of the San Francisco 49ers.
A loss of a yard on the play. It'll be third down and 9. Dallas in that 4-3. No, they've got the nickel defense in there right now. And they are blitzing, streaking in there, and blitzing on the play, and down back at the 23-yard line is the quarterback. Down goes Plunkett, and the man who got him was Randy White. Not one of the linebackers that was blitzing through, but we had a 6-man rush on. And we've got an injured Cowboy down on the field, Aaron Kyle, the right cornerback. He came on the blitz, too, and he was injured.
Yes, he got picked up by Wilbur Jackson, who laid a solid block into him, and Jackson also got up slowly, but he is all right now. We pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
25 seconds before 10, 39 degrees from WGN Radio, Chicago.
It'll be fourth down and 17 yards to go for the San Francisco 49ers. We mentioned prior to the beginning of this half that one of the keys for the San Francisco 49ers would be to give their quarterback Jim Plunkett good protection. Plunkett has not received it here at the beginning of this second half. He had a big rush on in there as Dallas sent in everything but the kitchen sink. Kyle is being assisted now to his feet. And he is slowly getting up, and it looks like he is going to be able to walk off the field under his own power. He was really shaken up on the play. They are walking him off, but nobody is carrying him off. He's walking off under his own power, talking to the trainers as he goes off. He was really hurt on a very savage block by Wilbur Jackson. Now the punting situation for San Francisco.
Tom Whittam is in the ball game. He takes a snap, steps forward to the 15-yard line, and puts his foot into it. Moving up is Johnson. Butch Johnson at the 40, to the 45, across the way to the midfield stripe, and he's into San Francisco territory as he fights his way to the San Francisco 49-yard line.
One of the keys to this game in Dallas taking the lead was that fine kickoff return by Johnson, some 74 yards, that put his team in business on the 20-yard line, and then the touchdown occurred that put Dallas out ahead 21-14.
Cowboys back in the huddle at the 40. As they break the huddle, Drew Pearson out wide to the right-hand side. Dorsett and Newhouse are the setbacks behind quarterback Roger Staubach. The snap, the handoff to Newhouse, straight ahead, piled up right at the line of scrimmage, and the man on the bottom is Jimmy Webb, the left tackle of the 49ers, playing the run very nicely there. He brings him down with no gain whatsoever. It'll be second down 10 for the Cowboys.
2 times in the first half, the Dallas Cowboys had field position and did not cash in. The rest of the time they did. And now they have field position at the beginning of the second half and really can wrest control of this game from the 49ers if they can score. They started on the 50. They're down to the 49-yard line now.
Plenty of time in that huddle. Drew Pearson now has gone out of the game, and Jay Saldy is in there with Billy Joe Dupree. Now it is Saldy, man in motion to the right-hand side, and a pitch off to Newhouse. Newhouse trying to get away, breaks one tackle behind the line, gets to the midfield stripe, down to the 45, straight ahead. He went after, he was stopped momentarily. Skip Vanderpunt is the man who broke through and had his hands on him there, almost brought him down for a 5-yard loss. Instead, Bob Newhouse fights back to the 44-yard line of San Francisco.
That was a very, very determined run because it did look like Newhouse was going to go down and be sacked in that backfield, but he just kept chugging away. He's built like a fire plug and broke that tackle. It was too much of an arm tackle. You can't arm tackle that man.
Preston Pearson is in the running back set now with Tony Dorsett. They are spread wide with both wide receivers out wide to the left. Back goes Staubach, sets up to throw. The rush is on. He's going to run with it to the 45, down to the 40. On his way to the 39, fumbled the football, but held on to it, I believe. Bruce Elia, coming up from a linebacker spot for San Francisco, finally gets him, brings him down at just about the 40-yard line.
Bruce Elia, with the kind of tackle that Woody Hayes teaches at Ohio, hit Plunkett, he hit Staubach like a pile driver around the shoulders, and the force of that blow unloosened the ball, but Staubach maintained possession of it. But Elia being on the field is going to help the 49ers, although Bradley played well in his place. But Elia is a tremendous hitter. A lot of people who follow Big Ten and college football will remember Bruce Elia as an offensive fullback at Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Well, he has been moved to linebacker. That's the position he really likes to play. He likes to play defense more than anything else, and he is a savage, vicious hitter. It's going to be about 6 inches shy of a first down for the Dallas Cowboys, and it'll be fourth down coming up.
Fourth down, and they have the ball at the San Francisco 40. The Cowboys lead 21-14. We have 11 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in the third period. Lead 21-14. We have 11 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in the third period, and they are going for it. Up to the line, tight formation. Staubach spreads his backs now, barking the signals and handing it off to Tony Dorsett, and Dorsett follows Newhouse and dives over the right tackle. Tony Leonard is there to try and stack them, a whole host of San Francisco men to stack it up, but it is not enough. He dove for the yardage. He has a first down. Dallas has first down at the 38-yard line of the 49ers.
The way that blocking worked was that the guard on one side of the line for the Cowboys, that is Tom Rafferty, went over and took the tackle, and then Herb Scott went in the hole to open it up.
Drew Pearson to the right. Golden Richards out to the left. First down from the 38. The handoff. Breaking to the left tackle. Tony Dorsett to the 30-yard line, to the 25, to the 20, and out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. A flag on the play as Eddie Lewis, coming laterally across, finally managed to stop the great running back, the great young rookie of the Dallas Cowboys, Tony Dorsett. Beautiful run, but you can only do it if you've got that kind of speed.
Coming into the second half, Dorsett had 39 yards on the ground and could have increased that total quite a bit with that last run, but the gain is nullified as the penalty is assessed against the Dallas Cowboys, and they're coming over to tell us what it was. It's a holding call. Maybe that's the reason Dorsett got open. One of the linemen in the line held. It looked like he got the gain, though, on that last play, almost all on his own. Goes back to the 48-yard line of San Francisco, and the penalty really hurts because this Dallas drive began on the 50-yard line. That means they've only gained 2 yards when you include the penalty and everything else.
It'll be first down and 20 for the Cowboys, and they send both their receivers out wide to the left and to the right. Staubach now with a first and 20. He's got plenty of time. He shifts from the I formation. Dorsett strong to the right. Staubach back to throw. Goes to the sideline. Sideline pattern. They pass to Drew Pearson. He makes a grab and steps out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Mel Phillips from the strong safety coming over for San Francisco and running him out.
Well, I tell you what, they're moving it back to the 48-yard line here.
They're saying that that he caught the ball, but that he did not put both feet down inside as he went out. All right, so it is an incompleted pass, although the catch was made nicely by Pearson. He did not get those feet planted inside after coming down with the football. So back it goes to the 48-yard line of San Francisco. And Dallas, in possession, has the second down and 20. Staubach has the football, hands it off to Dorsett. Dorsett fumbles the ball. It's picked up by Newhouse, back at the 40-yard line. Newhouse is hit down at the 40-yard line, and the man who had him was number 86, Cedric Hardman.
And Tommy Hart came in there and just blasted the ball carrier at the time the lateral from Staubach went back to the running back Dorsett. He was right there and hammered into him, and the ball was loose. Hardiman was there near the ball, as well as the other player for Dallas, Newhouse, who made the eventual recovery. But Dallas is thrown back. They're starting to go backwards with the ball just near the 41-yard line.
Chalk up that fumble to a great effort by Tommy Hart, the defensive end of San Francisco. He drove through there and tackled Dorsett, caused him to fumble. The ball is at the Dallas 41-yard line. It's third down and 30. And here's the handoff given to Preston Pearson to the 45, to the midfield stripe. Pearson sweeping the right side. He gets to the 45-yard line of San Francisco. And finally, Mel Phillips and Stan Black lock onto him over there and throw him to the turf. Fine return, about a 15-yard gainer there by Preston Pearson. But time has run out. It's fourth down for Dallas in possession at the 44-yard line of San Francisco, and they'll punt.
Well, that was a very fine run. Delay into the middle of the line. He cut to the outside, made a beautiful cut, found Dorsett for blocking. Dorsett couldn't get him in the block, though, and if he had, Pearson might have gone quite away, probably for a touchdown.
Danny Wyatt is kicking from the Dallas 40-yard line. Here's the snap. Stan Black is the lone safety, and there's a high one. Waiting for it at the 10. He makes a catch. He is there at the 10-yard line. If he intended to call for a fair catch, it was not obvious to anybody. So with the score, Dallas 21, San Francisco 14. There's a timeout on the field.
Plunkett faced a total blitz on third down and really got wrapped in the backfield by the defense of the Dallas Cowboys. Plunkett has succeeded in spite of the fact that he has not received the best protection from his offensive line.
San Francisco in possession at their 11-yard line in the I formation. Williams and Jackson shifting now into the pro set. Here's the snap. Rolling to the right. Plunkett looks. He puts it in the air. Overthrows the intended receiver, tight end Tom Mitchell. Mitchell was up at the 28-yard line, but he just couldn't get to the football.
And Harvey Martin was all over Plunkett, giving him a big how do you do back on about the goal line, and that's why the pass was overthrown over the receiver, simply because Plunkett was rushed so hard by Big Harvey. In rushing so far, Williams has 33 yards, 13 carries. Jackson has 6 yards on 4 carries, 39-yard total. So the Dallas defensive line and the linebackers have shut off that running game.
San Francisco with a second down 10 from their own 11. Wide to the right goes Kenny Harrison. Out to the left is Gene Washington. The setbacks are spread wide now. Plunkett with a long count. He hands it off and up the middle trying to get loose. Wilbur Jackson can't do it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Thrown right at the line by the Dallas defense. The big right end of the Cowboys, Harvey Martin, lays the timber to him. So with 8 minutes and a half remaining in the third quarter, the Cowboys in front 21-14. It looks like, it would appear, that the 49ers are having a great deal of trouble offensively generating any motion. Third down coming up.
Dallas's defense has blitzed at the right times. They're playing aggressively now at the line of scrimmage.
In the I formation, big third down play. The nickel is in there. Dallas is looking for the pass. Everybody else is, but they go up the middle just the same. Wilbur Jackson out to the 15. Nailed at the 15. He falls forward to about the 16-yard line. Mike Hegman is there. Wrapping him up at the 16, and it will be a punting situation for San Francisco.
On that play, the bubble was in the middle of the line, and Plunkett sent his back right into the bubble. The idea was to eliminate the middle linebacker, Brunick. They did. However, the two corner linebackers came in and covered well on the play.
Back in the punt formation is Tom Whittam. Single safety back there is... It is at the 50-yard line, and it is covered. It was covered by the Dallas Cowboys. Butch Johnson was the man coming up on the football. Benny Barnes was there. And it goes over. So there's a timeout here with the score. The Cowboys 21, the 49ers 14.
Pat Sheridan and Al Wester on Mutual from Candlestick Park.
Dallas comes up to the line of scrimmage, the 48-yard line of San Francisco. In the backfield, Robert Newhouse and Tony Dorsett. Here's the snap. Quarterback Roger Staubach is back in the pocket to throw, and the rush is on now. He's trying to get room. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, is hit and driven forward to about the 46-yard line by big Cedric Hartman. Well, there was Staubach trying to set up to throw, and then the pressure in on top of him. He had to try and get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, and he does just that.
Well, the key there was the initial thrust by Cleveland Elam, who was the first to get his hands on the quarterback. Staubach got away from him, but Hardeman then recovered and got Staubach from behind and made the tackle. Line of scrimmage to the 48, second time in a row. The Cowboys have gotten field position in the second half.
In the ball game, Butch Johnson is out wide to the right-hand side. Drew Pearson is out to the left. It's second down 10 for Dallas at the 48-yard line of San Francisco. The setbacks are strong to the right. Man in motion to the right-hand side is Dupree, and here's the handoff to Bobby Newhouse, and Newhouse cracking over the right tackle. Gets down now to the 46-yard line before Tommy Hart, the 10-year veteran from Morris Brown, stacks him up.
He tried to run behind a block by Pat Donovan, his right tackle. Donovan did get some initial contact in zone blocking at the line of scrimmage. And in zone blocking, you take on the man who is opposite you. It's one-on-one, kind of back to the cave. You just take on the guy across from you and try to move him. And Donovan did that, although he didn't clear him out of the hole.
Now Golden Richards back in for the Cowboys. He's wide to the right. Out to the left-hand side goes Pearson. It's third down, I beg your pardon, 3rd and 8 from the 46. Staubach is back to throw. Look out, the rush is on. He dumps it off. It's complete at the 40, to the 35, and on down to the 32-yard line. With the football goes Tony Dorsett. Dorsett made the catch at about the 36-yard line and carries it to the 32. More than enough for a first down. Mel Phillips comes up to help on the tackle. Willie Harper, the right side linebacker, made the first stop.
And great patience by Staubach. He had 49ers hanging all over him, but he waited till the very last moment before he unleashed that football, allowing Tony Dorsett to make his move and to get open. Now, Staubach has completed 5 of 8 up to this point for 125.
Dallas moving the football down to the 32. They're at the San Francisco 32, and they shift their big tight end, Salty, over to the left side. Here's the handoff. Dorsett following, blocking to the 30. He's at the 25. Almost ran away from a man there. Gets down inside the 25-yard line to the 23. Bruce Taylor holds on to one leg and finally wrestles him down.
Pat Donovan, the big tackle, cut off the linebacker on a key block. One more block was laid by Newhouse, the fullback, who was running in front of Dorsett. Dorsett had a tiny crease, and that's all that guy needs to break away, and he did, going down to the 22-yard line, and it'll be second down and only 1 to go. 9-yard gain for Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett and Bob Newhouse. Dorsett, well, he's 5'11". Newhouse, he's 5'10". And here's the handoff, and straight ahead with the football To the 23-yard line goes Dorsett again. He's trying to get yardage, and he is nailed at the 22, they say, as they put it down. Jimmy Webb finally wrestled him down there. A gain of maybe, well, let's see. He's down close to the first down, very close to it.
They're going to have a measurement here. They're going to bring the chains out to see if he got it. I want to make mention right now of the fact that one of the fine offensive tackles in all of football, Rayfield Wright, is on the field now for the Cowboys. Wright has not played all year. He's had a knee injury, and Tom Landry's using him right now to see if he's on the road back toward being a regular with the Cowboys. It's about a foot shy of being a first down. Oh, it's even less than that. It's going to be a matter of inches. The ball is on the 22-yard line. That's where they place it down on the far hash mark on the 22, and they just have to go a matter of inches to get it. Third down coming up.
4 minutes and 20 seconds with the clock running, remaining in the third quarter here at Candlestick Park. San Francisco trailing the Cowboys 21-14. Dallas in front. And now they flex in a tight formation. They'll try to jam for the yard. The quarterback, Starbuck. He's got it straight ahead. On the keeper, I think he got the inch or two that he needed, is Cleveland Elam. The right tackle of San Francisco wraps him up, and the ball is down on the 20-yard line. First down, Dallas.
And he went behind John Fitzgerald and the guard on the right side, Tom Rafferty. Fitzgerald making a nice hit at the line of scrimmage, giving Roger Staubach just enough room to squirm ahead and get the yardage necessary. The ball is close to the 20-yard line.
Tony Dorsett, the number 4 rusher in the National Football Conference, in the backfield with Bob Newhouse, and they are strong to the left. Now Dorsett shifts back into the eye. Both receivers are wide. Dallas has a first down at the 20-yard line. A pitch to Dorsett. Wide to the left, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's in. Touchdown! Tony Dorsett taking the pitch out from Roger Staubach and racing around the left side and easily going into the end zone from 20 yards away. And the score now is 27-14.
What happened on that play? Beautiful fake into the middle with Newhouse. The linebacker on the right side, drawn into the middle of the line. Big hole provided. No linebacker there. Dorsett gets the pitch, and with his great speed, just zipped right into the end zone, got past the cornerback and the safety man, and he was gone, even before the San Francisco defense could react. The fake in the middle, the pitch wide to Dorsett, and away he goes. No linebacker there. Faked into the middle. It was a 48-yard drive.
Herrera will try and make it 28-14. He's the kicker. Soccer style, puts it up right between the uprights. So with the score, the Cowboys 28, the 49ers 14. There's a timeout on the field now. This for Las Vegas.
Dorsett, 75 yards on 16 carries, a 20-yard touchdown run by Tony, just with great speed and quickness, culminating a 52-yard drive and putting Dallas out ahead 28-14. And now the kickoff.
Efren Herrera will kick it away, and Paul Hopper is waiting at the goal line. San Francisco down by a pair of touchdowns, 28-14. Here's the kick. There's an end-over-end spinner down to about the 7. Hopper has it out to the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45-yard line, spins out of one tackle, over the midfield stripe down to the 45, and hit on the 44-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys from behind. Great run back there. He took it at about the 8-yard line. He runs it almost 50 yards back. The man who finally got him was number 61, Jim Cooper.
We'll make note of this now. The Dorsett, his total yardage for the year, 960 yards, needs 40 yards in this game to go over 1,000.
First down for San Francisco at the 45-yard line, the officials say it is. Both receivers are split out from the I formation. Plunkett has the snap, bluffs up the middle, back to throw, looks and fires in the middle. It's complete to Gene Washington, and Washington has it at the 24. A great catch by Washington, a circus catch. He went high in the air. Cliff Harris wrapped around him as he came down. The ball is at the 23-yard line of Dallas. First down, San Francisco.
And this is the first time San Francisco in the entire second half of this game, with 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the third quarter, has achieved field position. They started on the 45. Before that, they were at their own 10 and their own 20.
Washington is wide to the left-hand side. Paul Steele now is coming over to the right side, and we have Williams out to the right. Now he shifts into a power I to the right-hand side, and here's a handoff to Jackson. Jackson trying to turn the right side, caught behind the line. He was hit down back at the 28-yard line as Bill Gregory, the veteran from Wisconsin, in that defensive line for the Cowboys, gets credit for a tackle.
Big Bill is doing a super job subbing for Jethro Pugh, who is out with an injury, and Tom Landry assures us that next week
when Dallas plays Denver, Pugh will be in the defensive line. But as a substitute, Gregory has done a fine job this evening.
Lost the 4 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 14. San Francisco lines up at the Dallas 28-yard line. The setbacks are wide. Here's Plunkett back in the pocket. He's got the time. He looks. He goes into the end zone. He throws it out of the back of the end zone. The only man he could have been going for was Gene Washington, because Washington was back there. And along with Washington was Cliff Harris, and I believe he was double-teamed. He was. Mark Washington there, too. Interesting to note that Mark Washington is now playing one of the corners. And if you remember, it was noted to us that the man that Plunkett would probably try to throw against would be Benny Barnes. Well, Barnes is out of there now. Plunkett is throwing against his replacement, Mark Washington.
Yes, he is. And it's always tough to pass against Dallas because of those two safeties, and the coverage by Harris in the last play was superb.
Third down and 14. San Francisco at the 28-yard line of Dallas, and look out, they're trying to blitz as Plunkett goes long into the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown! Touchdown, San Francisco! And this time there was no stopping Washington. Gene Washington makes the grab right there near the line, the back line of the end zone, and the man that he beat was Mark Washington.
It was one-on-one coverage, too, and that is awfully hard to do when you get a guy like Gene Washington going out and running under a pass. Plunkett had just enough time in that last play, and you give Plunkett and Washington enough time and maneuver on a pass on one-on-one coverage, and you are really going to be in trouble.
The point after. Ray Wershing boots it up. It is good. So with the score. Dallas 28, San Francisco 21. There's timeout on the field now. This for Firestone Tires. Brinson takes a kickoff at the 10-yard line, out to the 15, up to the 20, to the 25, and he's hit at the 30, falling forward to the 31-yard line. Dave Williams of San Francisco down under that kickoff, nails him, knocks him down at the 31-yard line. Brinson brings it back about 21 yards on the return. Dallas has the first down now at their own 31-yard line. They lead in the ball game, but that lead has been cut to a touchdown. It's 28-21 as quarterback Roger Staubach brings them up to the line of scrimmage. The I formation in the backfield with Newhouse and Dorsett. Dorsett shifting strong to the right in the pro set. Here's Staubach. Back to throw. Drops back. He looks. He fires. It is complete. It was into the hands and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Drew Pearson. The man who knocked it away was Tony Leonard.
Tony Leonard with a savage hit, releasing the ball from Golden Richard's arms and chalked that up to the San Francisco 49ers, just doing fine defensive football in the defensive secondary, because Staubach laid that ball right into the area where Golden Richard should have had it, and a hard tackle releases it. 125 yards passing for Staubach. He's completed 6 of 10 thus far in this game. Dorsett has run for 75.
Johnson is wide to the right. Butch Johnson. Out to the left goes Drew Pearson. It is second down for Dallas at that 31-yard line. Second and 10. In the eye. Staubach pitching it out. Dorsett sweeping to the right. Cuts in. Out to the 35. Nailed at the 36-yard line by an alert, moving defensive unit from San Francisco. Tony Klein in the defensive line, and Bruce Elia are responsible for the tackle.
And the big guy from Michigan State, Billy Joe Dupre, laid the big block on that play for Tony Dorsett. So that means it's third down, and after the 5-yard gain, 5 to go, Dorsett needs 38 yards to go over 1,000.
Ball at the 36-yard line. It'll be third down and 5. And the Cowboys now, with Golden Richards back in there, sends him wide to the left. Out to the right is Pearson. In the backfield, Preston Pearson. And here's Staubach rolling, throwing to Preston. Preston Pearson at the 40, across the way and out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Preston Pearson, almost a must on passing downs. Pearson comes into the lineup, and he catches the important pass for a first down. Let's pause briefly now for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
And this is WGN Radio, Chicago.
Dallas huddles between the 30 and 35-yard line. We have 27 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. 28-21, the Cowboys lead, and they have a first down at their own 44-yard line, 45-yard line, and let's correct that. Here is Staubach handing off and right up the middle. Dorsett to the midfield stripe, the 45. Cut from the side, or he'd have been gone to the races. He's nailed at the 41-yard line by Skip Vanderbunt.
Beautiful run by Tony Dorsett. Went right up the middle on the delay, got the good block by Herb Scott on the line, and broke through for 13 yards. Cut to the outside. When he made that cut for the outside sideline to go right down the field, he was stopped by the defense of the San Francisco 49ers. But it was a superb run by Dorsett, some 13 yards. And that means he needs 25 to go over 1,000.
Dorsett is down on the field. He is down. He is injured at the 42-yard line. And that's the one thing that no Cowboy fan wants to hear about. The one thing that nobody on that bench that we're looking into across the way where the Dallas Cowboys reside during this game want to see. He is still down, being worked on by the trainers.
Tony Dorsett now is prone on about the, let's say the 42-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers. He took a hard hit when he hit the defensive backfield. He was trying to make his move to the outside to find the sideline and then sprint down for a touchdown. But San Francisco covered it too well, and he was hit while his body was at an angle, making that cut to the outside. So the force of the blow was coming from the defensive back who hit him. And Dorsett, of course, couldn't give, because he was starting to run laterally, he couldn't give any blow in return, and thus he was caught at a bad angle. There was nothing unsavory about the tackle. It was clean all the way. It was just that Dorsett was making his cut at the time he was hit. And he was in a bad position and actually absorbed the entire blow from the defensive back of the San Francisco 49ers. Now they are lifting Tony Dorsett up. He is in kind of a crouch position on the field, and again, they are talking to him. I don't think his legs were hurt on that play. It looks like he just had the wind knocked out of him.
That I don't know. They were checking the ribs there on the rib cage on the right-hand side. And of course, you know, you can get 2 or 3 ribs fractured very easily. It can be extremely painful until you tape them in. Tape them in, you can play with them. Dorsett, under his own power, goes to the sidelines. But that's the sort of thing that shakes up any Cowboy fan and football fans across the country. One of the game youngsters and certainly one of the greatest little runners in pro football today and all in his rookie year. There's the end of the third quarter without another play with the score. The Cowboys 28, the 49ers 21.
First down and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys after that 13-yard run by Dorsett. Dorsett's standing along the Dallas bench right now, and he looks okay. The trainers are elsewhere, so maybe he might be back in the game.
I would think so. He looks to be all right as the Cowboys come up to the line of scrimmage with the first down at the 41-yard line of San Francisco. Here's a pass to the sidelines, caught right along the shoe top. The catch was made at about the 33-yard line by Drew Pearson, and he's run out of bounds there by Bruce Taylor.
Bruce Taylor one-on-one against Golden Richards as Golden Richards made the move to the outside and then came back, and Taylor, it was Drew Pearson, by the way. Drew Pearson was the one, and Taylor just gave him too much leeway. He was 5 yards back, and the ball, although not thrown hard, was fielded by Pearson before Taylor could come back to make the hit. And so it's a second down for Dallas, but they picked up 8 big yards on that play, so they only have 2 to go. They're now talking, the officials are, to the San Francisco 49ers on the far side of the field. And let's see what the discussion is all about. They're having a meeting on about the 35-yard line. As far as the statistics in the first half are concerned,
Dallas has 13 first downs. San Francisco has 12 at the moment, 156 yards rushing for the Cowboys. So they've done a good job of rushing the football, and that's what I think they wanted to do. Definitely establish a running game and work on that as they come towards the playoffs. All right, there's a slot back to the left-hand side, only one man behind the quarterback. Now they shift over. Preston Pearson is in that backfield, and back goes Staubach to throw. He looks, and he's going into the end zone, and he's going to try to force that ball in there, incomplete in the end zone, but he was trying to force it in between 2 defenders down there, and down deep, Golden Richards went. He was there all right. Bruce Taylor was there, and so was Eddie Lewis. Both of them were back there on the nickel defense. They were expecting the long pass. An incompleted pass, back it comes, and the Cowboys will try again.
and they were expecting that particular play. They had it covered. The safety rotated over to that zone to help the cornerback, and they had him sandwiched between 2 players. No way that could have been completed.
Drew Pearson comes out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down and 2. It will be a tight formation. Pearson is right off at the tight end. Both the setbacks are strong. Preston Pearson and Robert Newhouse. The handoff. Nope. Back to throw. Staubach rolling to the right. He looks, throws in the middle at the 22. It is complete. And he's got the yardage plus some for a first down as he hits his tight end, Jay Saldy. Eddie Lewis nails him at the 22-yard line, and this time the player on the turf that's shaken up is from San Francisco.
That play is designed to freeze the linebackers at the line of scrimmage. The play action, the fake, and then Staubach rolls out right, sprints out, and tries to find the tight end who will go behind the linebackers who stay in at the line of scrimmage, supposedly to follow the player who received the fake from Staubach on the plunge into the middle. There's a timeout with the score, the Dallas Cowboys 28, San Francisco 21. Now, Dallas driving now toward the goal line of the San Francisco 49ers with a score 28-21 in favor of Dallas. The Cowboys are going to try to get a 2-touchdown bulge here. They have 22 yards to go into the end zone. Staubach has completed 9 of 13 for 151 yards.
Cowboys in a huddle at the 35, and as they break, they come up to the line of scrimmage. It's first down Dallas at the San Francisco 22. Both receivers are out wide. Preston Pearson is in the backfield with Bob Newhouse. In behind quarterback Roger Staubach. First down for the Cowboys at the 22-yard line of San Francisco. And Staubach with a little 1-2 step tries to loft one down into the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. It's caught down there in the end zone. What a beautiful soft pass that was. Right into the corner pocket. The grab was made by Butch Johnson. Tony Lennon was there, but who would believe that little toss, that soft pass in the corner of the end zone would be caught? It's a touchdown for the Cowboys.
Absolute perfection on this drive. A 22-yard touchdown heave, by the way. The safety man of San Francisco came over too late to give the cornerback assistance. He was supposed to rotate in that direction, never got over in time, and that was the key to that play being successful.
Here's Efren Herrera now for the 5th time tonight for the point after try. Waters holds, and the kick is up, and it is good. So, with the score, the Cowboys 35, the 49ers 21. There's a timeout on the field now. This for GMAC and General Electric. Herrera will kick off and down deep. Paul Hopper is the deep man at the goal line. He's standing inside of the end zone. Here's a kick. It's a high floater. Up comes Hopper. He's got it at the 13, out to the 20, the 25, the 30. Runs right into tacklers at the 35-yard line. But there have been some great returns tonight as he gains or pulls out about an 18-yard return before running into Jim Cooper. It'll be first down for San Francisco at their own 36.
If there had been any debate in the San Francisco organization as to who should be their kickoff returner, that debate should be over with the way Hopper has performed here tonight against the Cowboys.
Defensively, Harvey Martin and Ed Too Tall Jones at ends. For Dallas, Randy White and Jethro Pugh at the tackles. Bill Gregory playing part of the time. Now, San Francisco, first down, their own 36. The snap, Plunkett back to throw. He sets up and he goes long, way down. Nobody's there. He was throwing for the 30-yard line. There wasn't a man within 20 yards. Even Cliff Harris couldn't get to that one for Dallas.
Harrison was supposed to be the receiver, but what he did, he was bumped at the line of scrimmage by the Dallas Cowboys, and he just couldn't get down under the ball in time, so all Plunkett did was unload it. No receiver anywhere in the area. So the San Francisco 49ers have a second down coming up and 10 yards to go on the 36-yard line.
Plunkett is 9 of 17 for 161 yards in the ball game. Second down for 2nd and 10. And the handoff given off to fullback Wilbur Jackson on the crossbuck over the left tackle out to about the 37-yard line. D.D. Lewis reached up and just got the helmet and jammed him down, I believe, into the turf. At the 37, a gain of a yard. It'll be third down for San Francisco, 3rd and 9.
I want to tell them where you're going to be next Monday, Al. Next Monday, Al and Lindsey Nelson will be in Memphis for the Liberty Bowl game. Nebraska squares off with North Carolina. Join Al and Lindsey for all the action over many of these mutual stations.
That's Bud Dudley's great football game. It'll be Nebraska and North Carolina. It is 3rd down and 9 for San Francisco at their own 37. And here's Plunkett back in the pocket. The rush is on. He rolls to the right. He's looking for somebody to throw to. Can't find him. Has to get rid of it. Throws it out there, complete at the 45. To the midfield stripe. Into Dallas territory with the football. Goes Delvin Williams. Williams made the catch over his shoulder. A beautiful catch by Williams. He's finally caught from behind by Aaron Kyle.
And Plunkett, with the white jerseys all over him, was scrambling on the far sideline, desperately looking for the pass receiver, couldn't find him, and then went to the secondary man who was hanging up around the line of scrimmage and was covered well by Aaron Kyle. A nice play on both ends by the receiver. That's Delvin Williams and by Plunkett.
First down for San Francisco at the Dallas 48-yard line. In the eye again. Plunkett with a long count has the snap, and off to Williams. Williams driving over the right tackle down to the 45-yard line. He's piled up at the 45. Ed Too Tall Jones is there. Bob Brunig was there, the middle linebacker. They put it down with about, let's call it a gain of about 4 yards. We'll call it second down and 6.
And the time left is 12:23 in this football game. We are in the fourth quarter at Candlestick Park. Dallas leads 35-21, and the 49ers are coming back.
Kenny Harrison is wide to the right-hand side. Gene Washington split out to the left. Second down and 6 for San Francisco from the Dallas 45, and Plunkett is back to throw. A long one. The bomb is way down there, off the fingers of an intended interceptor. Cliff Harris was down at the 5-yard line reaching for the football that originally was intended for San Francisco's Kenny Harrison. He couldn't get to it, and neither could Cliff Harris.
And Harrison was open. He had the cornerback, Barnes, beat on the play. The safety was closest to the ball for the Dallas Cowboys, but that could have well been, had Plunkett been on target, a touchdown for the San Francisco 49ers, because the little wide receiver, Harrison, was wide open. So the San Francisco 49ers have a third down coming up, and they have 6 yards to go. The long pass was a good gamble.
Long pass, a good gamble, just didn't click. Like they say, them that don't work ain't too good. Well, the 49ers are going to try to make something work this time. Third down, big yardage, 3rd and 6, I formation. Shifting to the right side, into the pro set is Delvin Williams now. Here's Plunkett, ending off, trying to fight his way up the middle is Wilbur Jackson, right at the 45. Bill Gregory ties him up and throws him down.
Plunkett checked off at the line of scrimmage. The checkoff was because Dallas was blitzing every one of their linebackers on the play. Had Plunkett gone back on the pass that he had called and tried to throw, he would have been sacked in the backfield. So the play went off the right guard, but the blocking was not good on the right side of the line, and it didn't work.
Tony Hill is the lone safety deep for the Cowboys. Back in the punt formation, Tom Whittam stands at the 40, has to jump for the football. He's going to throw a forward pass. He throws. It is complete at the 30-yard line. The catch. Down at the 30-yard line, they had changed over jerseys down there, and the catch is made. They changed the jerseys on one of the players down there who made that catch, and coming in, and believe it or not, it does happen. We're waiting to get a look, but the completion gives San Francisco a first down at the 30-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Klein is the man who made he made the catch. Klein, a defensive end, playing offensive football. First down, back to throw. A long one. It's caught at the 5, down to the 1-yard line. A great catch. A one-handed catch, believe it or not, down there by Paul Seal. Unbelievable as Jim Plunkett hits him at the 4-yard line. He falls forward to about the 1.5 yard line. What a catch.
It was incredible. Nobody in this stadium would have said when the ball came down that Seal was going to get it. Nobody. And yet he came up with a football. Former Michigan All-American. Played for Bo Schembechler. Had a tour of duty at New Orleans, now here at San Francisco.
28 yards on the pass play. It's 1st and goal to go for San Francisco. They'll trail 35-21. Plunkett brings them up to the line of scrimmage. Tight formation. Both tight ends are in there. Waiting for the snap. Hands it off. Straight ahead goes Delvin Williams, and Williams is hit right at the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten that helmet forward half a yard before Aaron Kyle and Tom Henderson make the stop, but they hit him head on down there.
Well, the San Francisco 49ers just keep coming back. The Dallas Cowboys score, the 49ers come back, and they score. And Plunkett has inspired this team with terrific passing, considering the great pressure Dallas has put on him.
Up to the line of scrimmage come the 49ers now. It is second down and goal to go from the 1.5 yard line. Jim Plunkett with his hands outstretched sends a man in motion to the right. It's Williams. Plunkett rolling to the right-hand side. He looks, he throws it into the end zone, incomplete, just off the fingertips of Wilbur Jackson. Plunkett's pass was just too low. Denny Barnes, the strong safety, was over there trying to cover 2 men.
both the backs, Williams and Jackson, were in the zone.
Yes, they were. And Barnes did an excellent job on the coverage of that play, which was a sprint out to the right, and the back coming out of the backfield slants over after making a stop toward the goal and then slants over to the sideline. The pass was underthrown.
It is third down and goal to go for San Francisco from the Dallas yard-and-a-half line. Again, both tight ends in. Man in motion to the left is Paul Seal, and the handoff and straight ahead. Trying to drive it in is Wilbur Jackson, and he stopped at the half-yard line. He could not get it in. Cliff Harris met him right there. Cliff Harris, Bill Gregory, Randy White, Bob Bruning, they just clogged the hole for him.
Oh, he was oh so close, got right down near the goal, and then the Dallas defense rose up with hard hitting, blasting the ball carrier very close to the goal line. Fourth down coming up.
Fourth down, goal to goal, the half-yard line. San Francisco knocking on the door. This may be the last chance to get it in there now in this series. Plunkett has the snap. Out to the left, looks and throws into the end zone. Touchdown! He hit his back. Delvin Williams rolling out of the backfield. Delvin Williams scores the touchdown, and San Francisco on fourth down gets it in.
Delvin Williams put on a little act because he juggled that football, thrown softly by Plunkett. It looked for a moment like he was going to drop it, then finally secured it, and the hearts of the fans went right into their throats here at Candlestick Park because this San Francisco 49er team will not give up. Williams almost dropped it and finally put a little suspense on it by eventually holding on to it.
Ray Wersching will try to add the point after. Here's the snap, and the kick is on the way. It is good. So with the score, the Cowboys 35, the 49ers 28. There's a timeout on the field now. Johnson and Larry Brinson. Johnson is at about the 8-yard line. Brinson's back around the 5. Wersching is put into it. A sailor. It's going out of bounds. It'll bring a flag, and San Francisco will have to kick again, but from 5 yards further back.
Yes, the penalty will be assessed, so they're going to take it back again, and they will kick off again. Now, Dallas, after every single score in this second half, has just roared back right after those touchdowns. As a matter of fact, that's the way the pattern of the game has been. One team gets the momentum, the other team takes it back. One team scores, the other team gets the ball and launches a drive, and it scores. It's been an exciting game to watch with some sensational plays on offense, and when you consider that the Dallas Cowboys are ranked so high in the NFC defensively, they are ranked right at the top. You've got to say that the San Francisco 49ers are putting on a super effort. Dallas is second in total defense, second against the rush, third against the pass.
Ray Wersching once again to kick off, and this time a sailor down the middle. Moving over, Brinson has it at about the 6-yard line, out to the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, to the sidelines, to the 30. He's up to the 35, and he is wrestled down right in front of the 49er bench. He's up to the 35, and he is wrestled down right in front of the 49er bench, along the sidelines at about the 36-yard line. Johnny Ayers is responsible for the initial stop. The ball is brought in at the 36th, and there it will be the Cowboys' 1st and 10.
Ball possession for the Dallas Cowboys in the last half of this football game, the 50, the 48, the 31, the 36. And they kept throughout much of the third quarter the 49ers in their own territory, making the yardage very long that the 49ers had to go for.
Drew Pearson to the left, Golden Richards out to the right. A slot back to the right is Tony Dorsett. Now he shifts back into the backfield. Newhouse spreads the defensive backs a little bit. Waiting for the snap, Staubach has it. Bluff rolls to the right-hand side. He looks, throws in the middle. Got his man at the midfield stripe. Making the catch is the big tight end, Joe Dupree. Dupree is a prime target. Although he has a bad back, he's caught 23 passes this year for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns coming into this game. Well, that's more than enough for the first down. That is the first down for the Cowboys at the midfield stripe.
The play action sent the motion to the left. Staubach throws to the right. The linebackers weren't fooled, though.
In the eye, and a quick snap, and off to Dorsett, and Dorsett runs right into trouble. A lot of red jerseys over there that just snow him under as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, back to the 49. Cleveland Elam was the man who led the charge against Dorsett.
The veer of the defense went right into the teeth of where Dallas wanted to go. The sweep to the left, Dorsett had nowhere to go but into a pile of red jerseys. Couldn't get the blocks from A, Pat Donovan, and B, his running mate Newhouse in the backfield. Both of them couldn't make the blocks for him.
7 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the football game. 35-28, the Cowboys lead, and they're trying to get insurance. Now they send both receivers wide to the right. There is Pearson and Richards. A man in motion out to the left-hand side is Dorsett. Newhouse off the tackle. He's to the 45-yard line. Wow, a cartwheel. He was hit right along the top of the shoes by Mel Phillips and flipped into a cartwheel at the 45-yard line.
Dorsett goes out in motion to the far side of the field, and then the running back goes on the sweep, Newhouse, carrying the ball. Dorsett could not make the block on Phillips, the cornerback. Our regularly scheduled program will follow 10 seconds after the conclusion of this broadcast. And we have 6:55 to go in the fourth quarter of play.
Third down and about 4 yards to go. A long 4 as the Cowboys take time calling the play. They have a single back. Newhouse is the only man behind Staubach. A slot back to the left was Dorsett. Now he shifts into the backfield. Both backs are spread. Back goes Staubach to throw. The rush is on. He looks and fires to the 40-yard line. It's complete at the 40-yard line. Making the catch is Dorsett out of the backfield. He made the grab at the 40, and it's very close to the first down as Willie Harper racked him up the moment he made the catch.
Oh, did he hit him? Willie just laid it into him, gave him the lumber right in the back. And it happened on about the 40-yard line. The ball popped loose when Dorsett hit the ground. The ball on the 40, and it's a first down for the Dallas Cowboys as the Cowboys now get a drive going. It started on their 36. They're now at the 49er 40-yard line.
Next Monday, a great football game, the Liberty Bowl from Memphis, Tennessee. Bud Dudley's great bowl game has the University of North Carolina, the University of Nebraska. You'll hear it over many of these mutual stations. And Lindsey Nelson and I will be right there in Memphis, Tennessee, working another of those great encounters. It's always a pleasure to be there. Birmingham is next on the stop on December the 22nd, and that's when we bring you the Hall of Fame Classic. First down, Dallas at the San Francisco 40. A quick pass, a rush on, dumped off, catching the ball. Preston Pearson to the 35, the 30, down to the 25. He's out of bounds at the 25-yard line. There was a very, very fast pass by Roger Staubach. He really unloaded the gun in a hurry there. He pulled the trigger rapidly. Staubach off to the left to Preston Pearson in the backfield, and he went all the way to the 25.
And Pat Donovan was out in front of Preston Pearson. Donovan laid a beautiful block on Phillips, the cornerback who came up. He just leveled him and bounced him along the sidelines.
In the backfield is Robert Newhouse and Preston Pearson now. Pearson is the 11-year veteran and the 8th receiver in the National Football League. And here's a handoff, and there goes Newhouse cracking over the tackle down to the 20-yard line. The officials say that he was down at about the 22-yard line, 21-yard line. Newhouse picked up just about 5 yards, very close to it. Let's see where they finally put it down. He picked up about 4 yards on the play, so it'll be second down and 6 for Dallas at the 21-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers.
Newhouse has a very good leg drive, very powerful leg drive, and that's what got him the yardage on that play. Broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Drew Pearson out to the left-hand side, the only wide receiver split out. Preston Pearson shifts behind Newhouse into the I formation. Staubach with the count. Handing it off to Preston. Preston jitterbugs up to the line, hits the 20-yard line, is driven back by a tremendous tackle by Cleveland Elam.
Cleveland Elam making the stop for the San Francisco 49ers. I was taking a look at Dorsett's total. Also notice that Newhouse now has 40 yards, and Dorsett has run for 93. We pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
And this is WGN Radio Chicago at 1.5 minutes until 11.
4 minutes and the clock running. Now 3:58, and it ticks away as we have a third down, a 3rd and 5, where the ball sits at the moment at the 20-yard line. Dallas is down at the San Francisco 20 and back in the pocket. Staubach will put it up. He throws to the sidelines. It's caught. It's caught over at the 8-yard line. And out of bounds after making the catch is Drew Pearson. He was run out by linebacker Willie Harper. Harper was over there, and that's the ideal matchup. When you can match up a great receiver like Drew Pearson, the #1 receiver, incidentally, going into this game in the National Football Conference against a linebacker, you've got the right matchup.
Well, that's what the Dallas Cowboys worked so hard to do on their pass offense, to get those favorable matchups. And Cleveland Elam came in and hit Staubach at the time he threw the ball. It's a wonder he ever got the ball there.
It's first down, 1st and goal for the Cowboys at the 8-yard line of San Francisco. Staubach handing it off to Newhouse. Following his interference, he's over the 5. He's down to the 3. He slashed off the left tackle, and he had good blocking up in front of him. He fights his way to about the 3-yard line.
And we have 3 minutes and 29 seconds to go as this Dallas drive has eaten up the time on the clock. And this, is, of course, is what Tom Landry and the Dallas staff want. They want to control the clock now in the waning moments of this football game and assure the fact that they are going to win. Sure, they'd like to score, but the big thing they want to do now is just keep that clock running, which they are doing. It goes all the way down to 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go now as Staubach brings them out of the huddle.
Up to the line of scrimmage they come at the 3-yard line. 3:09 and the clock ticking away. One man directly behind the quarterback. Now they shift, and it is Pearson and Newhouse spread wide. Pearson diving over the middle into the end zone. Preston Pearson has scored the touchdown from 3 yards out. And Dallas now moves back to a 2-touchdown lead.
The Dallas Cowboys with a great big touchdown drive. Pearson going over for the score. And now taking a look at where Dallas started in the yardage situation, they went 64 yards for this last score. And more importantly for the Dallas Cowboys, they consumed time on the clock down to 2 minutes and 57 seconds to go in that 64-yard drive for the TD.
One thing Bedford Wynn, who has been a great Dallas fan and part owner of one of the Cowboys at one time, I think may still own part of them, said to us before the game, he said, watch this football team run the ball. They're the best we've ever had. The kick is up, it's good. So there's timeout here with the score. The Cowboys 42, the 49ers 28.
2 minutes, 57 seconds to go in the fourth quarter of play. Pat Sheridan and Al Wester on mutual with the big matchup between the Cowboys and the 49ers at Candlestick Park. Cowboys have just scored on a 4-yard plunge by Preston Pearson, 64-yard drive, making the score 42-28. 49ers score, Cowboys come right back and score and keep that 14-point edge in this football game. Now the kickoff.
Paul Hopper is right at the goal line. Efren Herrera waiting for the whistle. From the 35, the Cowboys kick off a high shot. Down to about the 13-yard line, taken by Davy Williams instead to the 20. He's up to the 24-yard line, upended at that point. It did not get to Hopper. He moved over, but Williams on the sidelines made the catch. And Jay Saldi across the way hits him down. The officials will place the ball at the San Francisco 24. First down for the 49ers.
Well, our statistician for this game was Bob Coffey. The remote engineer was Cliff Razia. Our field producer was Luke Griffin. Washington studio engineer Rick Kaplan. And the studio producer was Peggy Solomon.
San Francisco with 2:48 on the clock. Up to the line. They have a first down at their own 24. Jim Plunkett with a setback spread. Waiting for the snap. Has the ball. Back in the pocket. Has the time. Throws it out. Complete. Wilbur Jackson at the 20. Out to the 25. And out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. He's run out there by Charlie Waters. Run out by Charlie Waters after picking up about 3 yards on the play.
And that stops the clock at 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Our regularly scheduled program will follow 10 seconds after the conclusion of this broadcast. The broadcast of the game between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. Mr. Plunkett has had a good evening. 14 completions and 25 attempts for 253 yards, and he has had a big rush against it.
San Francisco with a second down 7. 28, and here again is Plunkett throwing to the sidelines, overthrowing the intended receiver. Kenny Harrison across the way trying to get there. It goes out of bounds. So back comes the ball, and it will be third down.
The most lethal combination for the San Francisco 49ers has been that of the pass combination of Plunkett to Washington. Washington has caught 5 for 131 yards. So he's had a tremendous evening catching the Plunkett passes.
Got a beautiful telegram here from Zeke Stanfield in Bloomington, Illinois, saying, keep up the good work. And how is Lindsay? Well, I'll tell you, he's doing fine. Getting over that cold. He'll be back in action. He'll be with me, as a matter of fact, next Monday night. Here's a pass out of the backfield, thrown to halfback Delvin Williams at the 30. He's at the 35, and he gets it out of bounds to the 37-yard line. Cliff Harris finally runs him out. Delvin Williams with some nifty footwork down there after making the catch from Plunkett. I believe he has more than enough for the first down. He does.
What Dallas is doing defensively now is just dropping back deep and protecting the deep zones, and therefore Plunkett is using both the sideline and his backs coming out, sending his backs in front of the linebackers after the linebackers make their deep drops, unloading the ball out to his backs, and his backs step out of bounds to stop the clock.
2 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the ball game.
First down for San Francisco. The 49ers have it at that 37-yard line. Here's Plunkett. Back deep. Drops 12. Looks, throws. To the sidelines. Down too low. At the 47-yard line of Dallas, he intended or tried to get the ball to Gene Washington. Aaron Kyle was there, but the pass was far too low.
Aaron Kyle has played super defensive football for the Dallas Cowboys. He's one of the strong men in that defensive secondary. And the strength of that secondary, of course, is we find at the safety positions in Charlie Waters and Cliff Harris. You couldn't find two better safety men than those two, and they really help out their cornerbacks.
Paul Steele is in there, so you could look for speed there from the tight end position. And as San Francisco comes up to the line, Kenny Harrison is wide to the right, Gene Washington out to the left. Plunkett with a second down. Hands off instead. Right up the middle goes Wilbur Jackson. Over the left tackle he goes out to the 45 and hit down at the 46-yard line. Very close to the first down. D.D. Lewis finally added the, how do they say it in French? The coup de grace at that point.
And that wouldn't be the first coup de grace in D.D. Lewis's career either.
The Lazy Boy winners on offense, Tony Dorsett, and on defense, Cliff Harris, the safety of the Dallas Cowboys. He's an all-pro performer, and Tony Dorsett is due to be one of these days.
About a yard shy, San Francisco has a 3rd and 1 from their own 46-yard line. Now they have 2 minutes. There's the whistle. And here comes the 2-minute warning. It will be. So, with the score, the Cowboys 42, the 49ers 28.
Once again, the Lazy Boy winners for this game. On offense, Tony Dorsett. On defense, Cliff Harris. Both of the Dallas Cowboys, and they get those wonderful, relaxing Lazy Boy recliners. They're going to love them, too. So Dorsett and Harris are the offensive and defensive players of the game.
3rd down and 1, a tight formation. Both the setbacks are spread wide. Here's the snap. Here's the handoff. Williams cracking over the right tackle over the midfield stripe. He's into Dallas territory, and he has the first down. He was piled up. He was piled up by Bill Gregory at about the 47-yard line of Dallas, and San Francisco has first down with 1:53 remaining.
And the situation is this. They called timeout due to the fact that they want to stop the clock, and they stop it at 1 minute and 53 seconds to go. Timeouts left. The 49ers have 2 of them left, so they have 2 to spend before the end of the game. 49ers trying to score again. They put up 28 points. Plunkett has been particularly affected. And our key play award will go to Butch Johnson on his 74-yard kickoff return that set up a 20-yard touchdown pass to Tony Dorsett. That was a part of the game where Dallas wrested back the momentum, and they wrested it back at a crucial time in this contest. And actually, that run was the big difference between victory and a possible tie for the Dallas Cowboys. So the key play award goes to Butch Johnson on the 74-yard run.
Monday night, remember, the Liberty Bowl next Monday night. Lindsey Nelson and I will be in Memphis for that. And then on the 22nd, we'll be in Birmingham, Alabama for the Hall of Fame Classic. The first Hall of Fame Classic ever. Maryland and Minnesota will be battling in that. Then the AFC and the NFC playoffs, the AFC Championship game, the Sugar Bowl game. I'll be broadcasting the Sugar Bowl over Mutual on January the 2nd. And we will also have the Orange Bowl coming your way. First down, San Francisco at the 47-yard line of Dallas. Here's Plunkett back to throw. He looks. He goes right down the line. Incomplete at the 20-yard line. He was throwing for Paul Steele. Cliff Harris was coming over to cover Steele, but that pass just overshot him completely.
Yes, and it might have been a touchdown. Harris probably would have made the tackle because he's such a sure tackler, but Steele was wide open. He was about 6 yards in front of Harris when the ball was lofted over his head. It could have been a big play for the San Francisco 49ers, and our key play award winner, Butch Johnson, gets a case of Pennzoil. That's a case of Pennzoil for Butch Johnson.
It is 2nd down 10. San Francisco at the 47-yard line of the Cowboys. From the eye, Jackson and Williams shift. Here's Plunkett back to throw, and he's going with a long bomb way down for Washington at the 10-yard line. Washington bumped into Aaron Kyle right there at the 10. No flag on the play. No problem at all, said the officials. It was just a matter of bumping as they both went for the ball that was free.
And Aaron Kyle had the speedy Washington one-on-one. Washington, of course, doesn't have the great speed that he had when he was a youngster coming out of Stanford University, but he has the gift of those great moves, and another thing that he does so well when he runs his pass routes is accelerate and go from low to high gear and back again. And, of course, this really confuses a cornerback on one-on-one coverage. Washington has had a great evening against the Dallas Cowboys, catching passes for 131 yards.
Third down 10. 49ers at the 47-yard line of Dallas. 1:41 on the clock. Again, Williams and Jackson are spread wide. And again, Plunkett drops back to throw. He's got the time. The rush is on. He cuts the pass loose. Seal has got it at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Paul Seal made the grab. A beautiful throw by Jim Plunkett. And Seal, over his shoulder at the 20, made the grab and goes on to score.
That's a 47-yard pass play, and a big one, too, for the San Francisco 49ers, who just refused to give up against the Dallas Cowboys. Seal, the former Michigan All-American, ran a route that sent him up the middle, and then he cut toward the far corner. And as he cut, Plunkett let the ball go, and at the time he let the ball go, the entire Dallas defensive line just slammed into him, but he got the ball. He let the ball go, waited till the last minute. He was courageous on the play.
Ray Wershing will try the extra point. Here is the kick. It's on the way, and it is good. And believe it or not, it's 6 touchdowns to 5 touchdowns. That's the score at the moment. The Cowboys 42, the 49ers 35. More after this special 60-second message. An onside kick by San Francisco, picked up at the 40, run down to the 30, out of bounds at the 28-yard line. The onside kick was fielded by Steve Rivera. And Rivera runs it back and finally is run out of bounds as San Francisco gambled and couldn't quite make it. Jim Obradovich is the man who ran him out of bounds.
18 completions and 30 attempts for Plunkett, his best effort of the year, for 307 yards and 4 touchdowns. Plunkett has had a great evening here in Candlestick Park. Meanwhile, Dallas, with Roger Staubach at the helm, has completed 14 of 18 for 223, so Staubach has done well.
Dallas has the football, 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of San Francisco. Dorsett is back in the backfield with the Newhouse, and Newhouse takes a handoff and goes straight ahead over the 25. He's piled up at the 24-yard line. At the Gator Bowl, which will be coming up over Mutual, I'll be working with an old friend and a very fine broadcaster, Rick Weaver. He's a good friend of the president of our network, Mr. C. Edward Little. Rick will be down at the Gator Bowl to work with me. It'll be a great pleasure to have Rick with us again because he worked with us down in Miami. It is 2nd down and 5 as Dallas hands off to Tony Dorsett at the 20. He breaks inside the tackle and gets down to about the 15-yard line. It's 1st down for Dallas, and I believe we're going to have a timeout.
There'll be a timeout down on the field, and the score right now is Dallas 42 and San Francisco 35.
There it will be 1st down for Dallas with 38 seconds remaining, and it's just a matter now of whether Roger Staubach wants to put that little extra touch on the football. He can finesse a football when he wants to so beautifully, as he showed us a little earlier in the 4th quarter with that little soft toss into the end zone, into the corner pocket for touchdown number 6 of the night. 6 touchdowns to 5. We've had 11 in this ball game. It's been plenty of excitement. There is a full house backfield, all 3 backs behind the quarterback. Staubach takes the snap and simply falls down on it. Would you believe it? With 34 seconds and the clock, nope, they've stopped the clock. They have stopped the clock, but that's the last timeout, I believe, for the 49ers.
Yes, the 49ers now run out of timeouts. Our regularly scheduled program will follow 10 seconds after the conclusion of this broadcast. Dallas Cowboys now just want to run out the clock and end it all. They have a 1-touchdown lead, 42-35 against the San Francisco 49ers. Big evening both for Roger Staubach and for Jim Plunkett. Maybe you're wondering about Dorsett's running total. He will not make 1,000 yards tonight, but in his first few carries next Sunday against Denver, he certainly has a chance to do so. To be one of the few rookies in the history of the NFL in his first year to gain over 1,000 yards. And, of course, Dell Williams didn't come anywhere near the 1,000-yard figure tonight. He was handled pretty well by the Dallas defense. Dell's final total, 47 yards.
Here come the Cowboys again up to the line, and the full set backfield. They have the 3 backs straight across, right behind quarterback Roger Staubach. He takes the snap again.
And he falls on the football. The clock is running, 29, 28, running it out. There is no way for San Francisco now to be able to get the football. All their timeouts have been used. It's a matter of the clock running out. Everybody seems to know it. There is an injured player on the field, though. You don't think for one moment that a San Francisco ball player would pull a Hepburn here, do you?
Well, the Bears always used to do it back in the old era, in the 30s, the 40s, and 50s. That used to be one of their best ploys.
16 seconds remain on the clock as the officials hold up the clock. The trainers come out to look over Cedric Hardman. He had a broken ankle last year, and I guess he is still having a problem with that at times. In the 11th game of last season, a broken ankle. And wait a minute now, the players are coming across the field. They have let the clock start, and it's run out. It's all over. Tom Landry waving from the sidelines across the way instead of coming across to shake hands with the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, with Kenny Myers. We'll have our wrap-up now. The final score here will tell you the Cowboys 42, the 49ers 35. And we'll have our wrap-up after this word.
The Dallas